Okay. All right, Chris, welcome, and go ahead and tell us exactly
Yeah.
what's happening from Nima County.
Yes, so James, thank you so much for connecting me in Nima County. Currently, I'm currently at the PYJ Polytechnic University in Nima County, Ganta to be specific. So since the news this morning, this is how the compound are being led. School is now in section. Students from other communities in Ganta are the sample to sympathize the death news of Senator Prince Johnson. But one of those that have been so controversial with Senator Johnson in the town pass is Honorable Towe. Honorable Towe is right here at the background, so we want to speak to him quickly before we turn over to the crowd. Good morning, Honorable Towe. How are you?
Good morning, Chief Ethiopia and the Republic of Liberia, Nimba County, to be specific.
You heard the death news about Senator Johnson. How do you feel?
Well, very sad, very terrible, very unbelievable. And that what brought me here to make sure that my friend and brother, oh man, we can be, you call it, you say what, controversial? What you say?
Yeah.
So we can be, but oh man, sometimes we disagree to agree. But we cannot be disagreeable. Senator Johnson is my friend. No matter how you put it, he's my friend. You hear me? So I have to be here to see what is up. But I cannot say anything. I cannot preempt until I get reliable sources, reliable.
So that means you can't just believe this news.
No. I mean, it's to me, it's fake. It's counterfeit until I can speak to bodies, the wife of Senator Johnson, and also Bob Roode.
But Senator Johnson and you have been going back to back on serious issues in the county. Hearing this kind of news, how do you feel from your inner man?
Again, I feel bad. I feel sad. It's unbelievable. I mean, disregard, back to back. I don't know what that means, but if you can make it more explicit and clearer, I can tell you what it is. But sometimes friends and friends, tea and tongue can be flower. They're in the same room, but that don't mean that they can, they will depart or they will escape from one another. They are all way together. Senator Johnson and Chitowe, we all way together. He's my brother and friend.
Do you see the death of Senator Johnson as a blow to Nima County?
It's a very big blow, huge blow that Nima County will ever regret and remember. But again, if it's true, his death will be what memorialized. In other words, it will be a monument to be built in Nima County in honor of Senator Johnson. Because he did it all, he fought for the freedom of Nima. For the freedom of Nima. Even though the war again, I consider to see the war was senseless. But again, Nima County was singled out and singled out for the worst cause. And he stood firm to make sure that Nima is protected. So for that, he will be memorialized.
So what could be your final word to Nimba?
My final word to Nimbanians, we should know that a hero allegedly is dead, but we should remain focused and should remain calm, remain, ourselves. No need for demonstration to go in the street, to go on a rampage for anything. Because what Nima is always pictured as a bad guy, but not knowing that Nima is the real. I remain sober, yeah. That's what I want to say. And Chief here, you guys are, I always say, I don't expect to meet you here, but you are here. So thank you, and thank you to all the reporters, all the journalists. You're doing nothing or something big for no money. You're doing what you love, the passion for the job. You're welcome. So thank you, and thank you always.
And so, Lavinan, that's the voice of our Chief Franklin Towe of Nimba County. We know him for speaking out loud, speaking the truth, how bitter it is, he will speak out. So that's the voice of our Chief Franklin Towe. But we stay here on Spoon in Nimba. We'll talk to students from the PYJ Polytechnic University here in Ganta. So as soon as we get some of those students to talk to, we'll bring them on the stream on Spooned live and see how best we can talk to them on their own disappointment this morning. Yes, sir.
I believe that this particular thing was just
Lorena, go ahead.
We currently have this brother, and he's from the PYJ Polytechnic University. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Spawn.
Your name?
My name is Kevin K. Maria Jr. On the PYJ Polytechnic University, on the Department of the Allied Health Science, major physician assistant.
How do you look at the news? How do you
Very up to now, I can't still believe what is going on. I'm tired here. My proprietor was just here yesterday. He left. He went to Moreover, and we are hearing such a news. So I can't really believe it. Yeah.
So is this a big blow to your school?
Very, very big blow. Not only the school, President Republic of Liberia, secondly, Nima County, and down to the school as well. I'm very disappointed.
Okay, students in tears for what is happening here in Ganta. We stay here, see how best we can talk to some of those students on the campus. Motorcyclists are all parked outside of the fence, and some of those chiefs are around, and we trying to see how best we can talk to some of them.
Heard that government officials are there, and of course we saw Vice President Jeremiah Kwankong. He's also there, and other
schools of
senators and representatives from the majority bloc. Some of them are there, and few from the minority bloc as well. We know that Haji talked to Mark. Hello, Haji. Okay, we are still in Lima with Christopher Fan, and we are still waiting.
Okay, so thank you so much, Lorena. And we have this brother. I believe he's from the disabled community this morning. He read on the stream. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, how are you, dear brother?
I'm okay. Your name?
I'm Brother Prince Doa.
You are here this morning. Tell us.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah, myself, when I heard the information in the morning about the honorable, I'm so much down in happy because I don't expect him the thing which they talking about right now for it to happen. Because man said that yeah, he gave me a system, meaning that when I was involved in the accident last year, August 17, when I was taken to JFK hospital, I think that a radio station said they used for most of the pregnant to help me and my family and the other families on the other side. So for me to get a new money myself up to now, I'm very the people for myself, the people to remember
okay, so it's a very big blow to Lima County.
All right, that you hear people.
That is from Ganta and Nima County. Yeah?
No, that they are crying from mourners at the residence of Senator Prince Johnson. At the same time, we are still with our correspondent, Christopher Fan, in Ganta, Nima County. I see him showcasing the former senator.
Yes, so
Christopher Fan.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead. We just saw you show the
I'm
movement of the late senator.
Come again.
We just saw you show the monument of the late senator. Is that at the university? Christopher Fan.
There's a echo.
Yeah, sure. This is the monument for the late senator.
Okay.
I read on the screen here. Is in his compound where he built a school. Normally, the senator walk with a Bible in his hand.
Okay. All right, so Chris, are you going to talk to more people? If not, we can come back to you later. All right. Okay, so shocking news came this morning of the death of Senator Prince Ward Johnson, who died this morning at the Hope for Women Clinic in Pennsville, ELWA. We are yet to get confirmation from the clinic about what could have led to the death of the senator. But I'm in studio with Emmanuel David. Emmanuel, we have been following stories since this morning, and so we are hoping that we can hear from some of the government officials that are already visiting the residents of the fallen senator. And so, Haji Masale, we are here ready to talk to you as well. So let's get to Haji Masale, the residents of the fallen senator in Pennsville, and hear what our government officials that are visiting have to say. And so, Haji Masale, we are getting over to you. So we are awaiting your signal. Haji Masale, if you are there and you get a signal from studio, we want to hear from you. Go ahead, Haji.
Okay. Yeah, Lorena, so we are still here. The meeting hasn't yet been convened, but the lawmakers and the vice president, they are still sitting. Just a moment ago, we saw some lawmakers from the minority bloc. They visited along with Honorable Fanatik Kofa. We were just here just a moment ago, and after greeting the vice president, talking to the family, they left the scene also. But there are other, sons and daughters from Nima County, and we just saw Francis Kokor. He was here not too long, and his seat is still there, vacant, you can see. So apparently he has left. So I can show you pictures of former representatives and current representatives of Nima County.
Were you able to talk to Speaker Kofa?
Yeah, so we conducted a short interview with him. He too showed, his distress and disbelief about the death of the statement. And as he jokingly said, Senator Johnson was his father-in-law.
Okay. All right, Hachi, so we are here still waiting to hear more from you. And you said the meeting has not yet started. I thought the meeting was already on, and we needed to know if they were already making funeral arrangements or whatever it is that they went to that meeting for. But we are very sure it is due to them making arrangements for his funeral. And I know, I want to know from you, have you heard what could have led to the senator's death? Haji, if you have heard anything, maybe someone talked about something.
Some Pakistan discussion.
Yeah, Haji, was there rumors around what could have led to the senator's death?
No, of yet, not at all. So what is happening now is not a meeting, but the lawmakers and the vice president just sat, and I can see the postures of some of the lawmakers. They are about to leave. Bill Tuawe, Sir Joseph McGill, Senator Moy, Senator Snow. They are all stood up, and they will be leaving. Creighton Duncan.
Can you talk to some of them? Can you talk to some of them, Haji, if you can talk to some of the senators and representatives that are leaving now?
Yeah, I think you can see in the video, as soon as they disembark or leave the Palawa hut, then we will certainly talk to some of them.
Okay, well, we are bringing you live coverages around Monrovia as well, and we will talk to our reporters. We have our reporter hosted at the PYJ residence, the fallen senator, former, he's a fallen senator. He died this morning, Senator Prince White Johnson. Of course, we have been giving you history concerning the senator, where he came from, who he was, and some of the historic marks that he made in Liberia. What would he be remembered for? What brought his name to influence that people say, oh, yes, we know
Senator
that.
Chair, welcome to Spoon. How can you remember the fallen senator, your colleague?
I know him first as our in-law from the southeast. He's married to a southeasterner. And as a colleague at the legislature, Senate particularly, he was one of our fellows. And now he's gone, so there's a void.
In the Senate, how well will you miss him?
Anytime he talks, he always makes us laugh. It's somebody who talks very short, not long.
Okay.
And always to the point, practical. Most things people will not talk, he will say that.
Okay. All right, Senator, thank you.
Thank you.
It's the voice of the former Protein married to
Haji?
Senator McGill, how can you remember? So, Lorena, just 1 minute, want to talk to Senator McGill about the death of his.
You're very struggling. What is the memory that you're going to make for Senator Johnson?
Let's go. Go.
Right.
So he was your colleague in the Senate. How can you miss him?
For memory, Senator. Yeah, so right.
So, Lorena, because of what is happening, we cannot continue with Senator McGill, but wanted to hear from him. He joined the Senate just in this legislature, and he was a colleague to Senator Prince Johnson, the late. So, like what Senator Abachi said about.
Hello, Haji. All right, Haji, if you are getting us, we are hoping that you can talk to other senators and representatives or even other government officials that are there, and so that we know what they have to say.
Lorena, can you hear me?
Haji, you are back.
Okay, so I was just reiterating some of what the senator talked about, the late Senator Johnson. But Honorable Sir Joseph, welcome to Spoon FM and Spoon TV. You were in the Senate with Senator Johnson. How best can you remember of Senator Johnson?
No comment for now.
Okay, so Senator Sir Joseph is also in a very sad mood. He cannot talk. He just said no comment for now. So we'll go back and see whether we could bring you pictures as the vice president is also about to leave.
All right. So can you get to the vice president?
Okay, so we are making our way. Honorable Greta, welcome to Spoon FM, Spoon TV.
Thank you.
From Nimba County, how best can you remember Senator Johnson?
He's someone I work with every minute, every day of my life. He's someone that we're going to miss as a county. But for now, we want to just say, we are in tears. So not much we can say now.
but indeed it's a sad time for Nimba, it's a sad time for Liberia. Did you hear about his sickness? Not at all. In fact, on Tuesday, I communicated with him. There's a bill that he and myself been talking about. So we've been talking, like I said, just on Tuesday. So indeed, it's a sad time for us, and he's someone that we're going to miss a lot. Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
On William to start. Okay, so we will go back and see whether we can talk to the vice president. Whether we can talk to the vice president. Yeah, he's like the senators, the representatives made their way out. We will continue with the conversation and some sampling of the views of the onlookers,
Yes.
his kinsmen, and people who just came to sympathize with the family. But his entire environment here is surrounded by by onlookers. I mean, the place some by people who have come to express their sympathy. But the vice president is still seated, and I believe he will spend much of his time here. But the members of the House of Representatives, the majority bloc, are still here. I can still see Honorable Richard Nangwe-Kun. I can still see the chairman of the majority bloc, Samuel Koga, Representative
Musa Belete, we see him.
Lorena?
Yes, I think we see Representative Musa Hassan Belete as well.
Yes, so he's interacting with the majority bloc, and they are joking, laughing, and talking things about the ongoing saga. But that is just, something for, another day. But today, our conversation will, the death of Senator Johnson will dominate the conversation today.
Yeah, and we are still waiting a signal from our correspondent Christopher Fan in Nima County. So, Hachi, yes, we want to hear from more of the government officials that are present. We also want to hear from onlookers, community dwellers, those that are around the vicinity of the fallen senator. So, as much as we can get, we would like you to communicate that to us.
Yeah, so the government officials are still here, mostly members of the legislature, because this is issue of their colleague. So you will see them here, in their numbers. Some of them have already left, good number of them, but the number of lawmakers that are here, is also significant. That's why you continue to see them, here. I can see Deputy Minister of Finance, Depuso. He's also in conversation with Neke Gay of Nima County. Honorable Musa Hassan Belete continue his interaction with some former lawmakers of the House of Representatives. Lorena?
All right, I got you clearly. We are just hoping that you can talk to more, of them, as many as you can, so that we hear what they have to say about the fallen senator, and at the same time to talk to some of those that are just around the entity. I see Honorable Musa Belete already coming out. If you can get to him, Haji, please do, so we can talk to him.
Okay. So right now we have Honorable Musa Belete. Welcome to Spoon FM, Spoon TV. You are live on the radio. What's your thought about the death of your kinsman from Nima County, Honorable Prince Johnson?
It's very sad, and especially at this time. We're not expecting that. We know death is expected, but this man was the fabrics of our country. Losing him at this time brings so much in our memory system. But, you know, it is the will of God. Everyone that comes in this hall come with an understanding and the definite consequences of death.
You think it's a loss to the nation?
Yes, it's a big loss for Nima
Is
County.
there a road to go out there?
It's a big loss.
So what do you think to miss the honorable?
Everything. He kept us together whenever we had disagreement. I mean, I just talked to him yesterday. Just yesterday. I was here last week, visited him. Whenever there was crisis, he was a representation of his name, the Godfather. He was there to keep all of us together.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. So, Musa Berete from the 7th District of Nima County. Okay, so Honorable Depuso, welcome to Spoon TV, Spoon FM. We are live on the radio. The passing of Senator Johnson, I know it's a great loss. How well did you remember him?
Senator Johnson's death is something shocking for the entire country. But as a human being, we have to accept the will of God. So he played his role as a Nigerian citizen, and he provided leadership, and God has taken him home. It's sad that it was not expected to have happened at this time, but we have to accept it as the will of God. And for me personally, I feel that, you know, if we work together, sometimes do background consultation with him to see how best we can make this country stable. And he exhibited that leadership to make sure that our country remains stable. So he provided leadership for the country, also for the country. So the Liberian people have been with as far as I'm concerned. It's not only the people in the country.
So, this is let's say for the past the TV. So, what do you stand to remember the honorable for as he has passed?
There are three things I would say. The first thing, that his military life is a history for Liberia. That he used his military life and came from there, and from 1985, he came back to the situation and came to the Civil War. That's the second thing that people remember him for. And from there, he transitioned from war life and went to governance and that became senator. And lastly, before his death, what he also wanted to do and which he was doing was to also provide, education support to train another generation. So at least I think he had full transition in his life, which I think should be very military life, his war life, political life, and education life support.
So, what your last interaction with him?
My last interaction with him was 3 months ago, and that was just a problem, just for us to engage, and that was it. And that was during the president's birthday. Yes, how are you doing?
Hello, Haji.
Yeah, so the key is in interaction with the deputy minister. So we would just like to, let them flow on this last.
All right, Haji, we hope you can talk to as many people as you can so that we know what they have to say. We know that Liberia is mourning. Even
Okay,
though
Honorable Minister, thank you so much. So that was Deputy Minister of Finance. So we will take
welcome to this special edition right here on Spoon Network. Of course, we are on Spoon FM, we are on Spoon TV, and we are on other platforms. We are live on Fabric and Super as well. So we welcome you, our people. We are still going to talk to you, listening via the radio. We are going to open the lines and make sure you. We have our reporter in Nimba County, and he's moving to the streets of Ganta City so that we'll be able to talk to those in Nimba, because the whole Nimba is, the people are shocked today, and they are mourning. They are saying that they have lost a great soldier, the godfather of the county, the man who always lead his county to, put in precedence. If a powerful voice has fallen today, and we went through, you just heard the minister Emmanuel.
Yeah.
He talked about like 4 lives of the fallen senator. He talked about his military life as an AFL soldier. You talk about him being Eddie Martin to
Thomas
Kwenkwa. Yes.
And the fire of the matter, Senator Johnson joined the Liberian National Guard at the age of 19 years.
So that means his whole life was just
Yes.
about military.
Yes,
But then later on, we're looking at his religious life as well. And, because he became a pastor, you understand, a prophet of God. And then he also has his political life, a political / religious life. But while we await more words from Haji, we want to show some of what we can show concerning the late senator for our viewers and, of course, our listeners.
It is clouded. It is characterized by so many disappointments. Hopelessness for some, hope for some. People have to manage their expectation. The sky may be dark. The situation may be so windy. You may not see your way through, you may be disappointed. While some people are grieved, others are happy. While some people are having appointments. Whatever the situation is, as chairman of the governing council of the MDRO, without the MDRO and the people of Nimba, seems to have.
Right, so while we await Haji,
Distinguished Liberians gather here, commissioners, paramount chiefs, elders who arrived early this morning from Nimba County, former commandos of the Special Forces of the IMPFL now disbanded, to the great forces alert and Model, without whom democracy will not prevail today. I end up being for these great forces fighting dictatorship to enthrone democracy, peace, and stability. Liberia would not be what it is today, and I won't be here called senator sitting before the TRC to give my account of the role I play. Before I go further, I would like to say that the last time I talked about Chairman Verdier, talked about Sheikh Afame Cornell and others, I would not ask anyone to recluse himself. I will not stop my story because some of them were involved in the process. I will go right on explaining my story. But my concern is that the people before whom we sit to explain our stories themselves have story to tell. And I do not know to whom they will stand to tell their story. These are the distinguished personalities who are responsible at the end of the day to come out with recommendations either for war crime or whatever against us or whoever. I just want you all to know that I have come here in obedience to my conscience and by popular demand of the Liberian people for me to come personally and be present off camera to tell the Liberian people and the world what led to the process that I was involved in and to let them know my role. I did not know many years back that there would be a TRC, that I would sit before it to explain. But what I did was I prepared for the future because I always look into the years with prayer. So I prepared my memoir. And don't be disappointed. Don't be discouraged because many of you may want me to stand and just begin to narrate. I don't want to be distracted, so I will read most times from my memoir. And then at certain times, I will begin to explain orally.
Alfonso gave, or we try to keep the peace. Not one soldier, not one senator from Grand Judah ever talked bad about any of us in this country. During this gone election, you made a statement regarding Honorable Coon, who is now the vice president of the Republic of Liberia and president of the Liberian Senate. You admonished the Grand Judeans not to vote for a killer. You rather vote for me. Today, everything has changed. He is our vice president. He is the president of the Liberian Senate, before whom we sit as he presides. Today, you have indicted the people of Niba again of poisoning some of our Grand Judeans, of not allowing Grand Judeans to migrate. Everyone is allowed to migrate whatever country you want to go to. If you keep yourself conservative, you don't travel and settle there, well, it's up to you. But I want you to please, I beg you, to maintain the peace in your spoken words and all that you do. What you said today was a disgrace to the people of Nimba. I've been here long. That did not come to the attention, to our attention, when it was open. Was any Grand Judean person, Grand Judean person in the country that you know of, didn't tell us? Okay, I'm just hearing it. I come to your office, you come to my office, you didn't tell me, but you prefer to bring us to the public to say we are killer and we kill somebody. Expecting David to say something negative. Because the two guys agreed. Expecting David to say something negative. Because the two guys agreed. So when Joanne got there, David said to him, Joanne, you're my uncle, but we can't pull. I call you today, you know when I call you, I'm sure you were thinking in your mind, what was in the call? But I call you to tell you, my dislike for you, your hatred for me, both should be far lesser than our love for Israel. Because Israel is surrounded by enemies. Hereby promoting you to the rank of a general to take charge of the entire Israeli army.
Thank
to
you.
defend Israel and to defend me as a king.
Amen.
Joab could not get away. So he asked the king. He said, you are my second pole. We are family people. So are you telling me, you're making me general and chief of the Israeli army, knowing fully well that one day I can overthrow you?
All right. So Haji Masale, you are there at the residence of the fallen senator. If you want, you can come through and talk to us. We are still here awaiting our correspondent in Nimba County. He's going to be talking to citizens across Ganta City so that we hear what they want to send our messages of condolences and, of course, sympathizers who just want to talk to the family.
You go to school for
Haji,
on
welcome.
the radio. So, Lorena, I'm here with Honorable Kukoga from District 5, Nimba County. Honorable Kukoga, how can you miss Senator Johnson, your kinsman from Nimba County?
Senator Johnson, by the way, not only kinsman, he's my cousin. So we have come here to put into place to receive the sympathizer coming to ensure that we give him befitting burial. But we're going to have a family meeting. From the family meeting, we'll let the public know the next tour of action.
Just in summary, how best can you remember him? You were with him in the legislature, though he was in the upper house, you were in the lower house.
I don't want to comment on that because currently I'm not in my rightful mind.
Okay, so Honorable Koga from Nimba County, the 5th district.
Yeah. All right, Haji. So were you able to talk to more representatives or senators?
Lorena, come again.
I'm asking if you were able to even talk to more before Honorable Koga.
Yeah, so we talked to some lawmakers as they were departing to go to their favorite homes. They spoke of the time, they had with uh, Senator Johnson. Some were, really speechless, like Sir Joseph. When he talked, Senator McGill, he met the senator, the fallen Nima County senator, briefly in the legislature because he just joined in this legislature. Senator Johnson has been in the legislature since 2006, so he's the doyen. He's referred to as the doyen of the Liberia Senate and the legislature in
All right, and so you are getting play by play what is going on at the house of fallen Senator Prince Ward Johnson right here on Spoon TV Live, and we are also on Spoon FM 107.5. We are also remembering some epic moments of fallen Senator who was pronounced dead this morning at the Hope for Women Clinic there in ELWA. Thank you.
Expecting David to say something negative because the two guys agree.
Haji, we are still with you. We also saw the vice.
Okay, so Laurie, now we are also witnessing the arrival of District 4 Representative, Monserrado County, Marco Thomas. He just arrived. He will join his colleagues. You can see them in the first row of the sitting order there. You will also look at former representative of District 4, Nima County, Kopu Kagon of Nima County, and sitting, in discussion also with his colleague in the 54th legislature, CBCD Bashir. So they are in the conversation. So like what Honorable Koga just stated, the family will meet. So that's why you see they are still gathered here, apparently waiting for some protocol. They will have some family discussion, the way forward, so as to give the statement a befitting burial.
All right. So that is the information you have gathered, and that is what we are seeing. We still see government officials are still seated there, Emmanuel, at the late senator's residence. And so, yes, we are on standby for you, Haji Masale. We are also on standby for you, Victor Cooper, and also
Christopher Fine.
Fan. Yes, in Nimba, you guys can come through,
Yeah.
and whatever it is, we want to hear from the voices in Nimba County. Maybe they want to just send out some of the condolences they can. And you heard some of the students. It's like schools got disrupted today since they found out that the senator died. And from the hospital, it was confirmed that he died, but not yet what happened. All right, so we are here to make sure you get all of the information you need to get. We are telling you what we are seeing, and at the same time, we have our reporters out there. Sylvester Chodoplay, we are talking to you. Jurassic Joe, want to hear from the people in the streets of Monrovia, where we are, and even from Nima County. We are still waiting our people to come through and talk to us. You are listening to us via the radio and also television.
And most of the comments coming from even though some official declined to make comment because of the situation now, but most of the comments coming from most of the comments coming from officials of government, especially those the fallen senator worked with. These are all positive comments. Even though in such a time you won't expect people to say negative things, but the fact remains that he was a person that people look up to for some sort of guidance and in terms of getting instructions, and moreover, I'm seeing Senator Johnson from another angle. Aside from his political life, looking at him as a religious person, as an evangelist. He was an evangelist, winning souls. So he impacted people from different backgrounds. he impacted people from different backgrounds. From the political angle, he was a godfather
Yeah.
in Nimba County.
From the religious angle,
he was an evangelist winning soul for Christ.
and always preaching the message of peace. From what I even in the John Chambers, you heard him what speaking or whatever he is putting forth as a matter, he must always talk about peace and peace and peace. And so we wouldn't say how he left this world. We just know that he is no more, and he's still being remembered for some of his epic moments. And you heard one of the government officials, he said that this man will be remembered for 4 lives. Emmanuel went through it. You look at him from the military aspect. Now you're telling me that he joined another force at the age of 19.
Yes. The armed forces of Liberia, before becoming the armed forces of Liberia, they were referred to as let me get the name here quickly. Before becoming the armed forces of Liberia. Okay, I had a name here, but
he
yes,
was a
yes,
part of the
yes.
armed forces
Okay,
of Liberia.
the before becoming the armed forces of Liberia, they were the Liberian National Guard. That's the LNG. That is the group that he joined at the age of 19 years.
All right.
Yes, before transitioning to the armed forces of Liberia, he was a member of the LNG.
Okay.
And so at the age of 19, he was born 1952, and then joined the LNG at the age of in the year 1971. So from 1952 to 1971 is 19 years. So he was 19 years when he got into military service. So he was a very young man getting into a very active service and becoming an aide camp to Kuyongpa, who was the commanding general of the armed forces of Liberia. A very key role, a very key role as a young man. And then he rose to the rank of a lieutenant, and brigadier general as well too was one of his ranks.
Yeah.
And then from there he went on establishing the IMPFL, and then he and former President Charles Taylor they were allied, and then they part ways. And then he established the IMPFL, and then he was successful in executing former President Samuel Kanyado. And then
on September 9, 1990.
And then he left for Nigeria and then came back. And he always portrayed himself as Saul.
And you know,
the famous Bible story of Saul. Saul involved in prosecuting Christians. Yeah, you have that video. Yeah, so Saul was involved in prosecuting Christians, and when he got the call of God, and his name changed from Saul to Paul.
Yeah, Prince Johnson, the listeners are always talking,
yes,
always explain that story. So from what we see, he was the former Saul becoming Paul. All right, and if God could forgive Saul, who became Paul, then why wouldn't he forgive him? You know, he always had his, I said it yesterday that people always support whatever, be a prayer or communication with some documentation, and that was his story. All right, but we are still awaiting Victor Cooper. You are there in Nimba County, and also you, Christopher Fan, we want to know what is happening. The godfather of Nimba has fallen dead, and today Liberians are mourning. Liberia mourns is going to be all over in different media outlets, even outside of the country, to talk about how Senator Prince Ward Johnson, a former warlord and now a preacher and a politician, a former soldier man, that he died today. Now we have connections coming in from Monrovia, Montserrado County. Let's talk to our people there. From Central Monrovia.
Hello, Supreme. Are you getting me?
You're live, Jurassic.
All right, so we are Central Monrovia, to be precisely, CO. We will be talking to you citizens on how they think of the sudden death of Prince Johnson, Honorable Prince Johnson. So they're going to be giving their views, and we're going to speak lengthily to them because we're going to be late. You hear me, right?
Yes, but I need you to please get away from that noise.
Hello, Sabra, you hear me?
Yes, you need to get away from that noise, please, and then we will get back to you.
Okay, I'm a Central Moreover, so North always be around. So you hear me now? Am I clear?
Yeah, much better. Go ahead, Jurassic.
All right, thank you. So, like I was saying, of the sudden death of one of the statesmen, Honorable Prince Johnson, we are in Central Moreover currently to sample's view on Liberians, what they think of this and of this prevailing situation, the sudden death of a statesman, and also a man that is well known in Liberia politics, and also a man who was a former a warlord, and they're going to be speaking to us plentifully on their take. We're going to be taking their view on it, and so let's start the conversation with. So let's start the conversation. So,
okay.
So just tell us your name, and then we can proceed. What's your name, sir?
My identity, I'm Alfred Momokanagaku.
All right, Alfred. So this morning we just heard the sudden death of a statesman, Honorable Prince Johnson. So what's your take on that?
Well, firstly, I want to say sorry in the Liberian simple way to the people of Nima County. And I also want to say sorry to the Bereaved family and also to the Liberian people at large. The death of Senator Johnson is not only a setback to him, a setback to the entire country. Senator Johnson has played an immense role in the country, even at the point where he was working with the armed forces of Liberia as a soldier. He made sacrifices for this country. Senator Johnson believe in the developmental agenda. That is why we want to remember today. You will see many institutions are consulted by Senator Johnson. He is not like other Liberians who don't care. He invests into education. He empowers Liberia. He empowers the body. So such a man to die today, even though the death is inevitable, everybody will die, and it's just a matter of day when the time will come. So Senator Johnson, today his time has come. He has found it. He needs to rest. Today, I'm in sympathy with him. I'm in sympathy with the family. I'm also in sympathy.
So you think the death of Senator Johnson is a great loss to Liberia?
It's a great loss to the country. It's not only Nima, it's a great loss. But as I said, he carried on so many development in Nima County. And the fact that there's a development more so in the educational system structure. The fact that he did it for Nima is not only Nima, because it is not only the Nigerians that know that went to that school. So there are so many Liberians. So I am saying it's a loss to the entire country. Beyond that, there's McCarthy to some of our brothers from the other side. Anybody who God created you die. So being happy with someone dead because of political issue is bad. I saw citizens jubilating, dancing, calling on Freedom FM this morning, celebrating with Senator Johnson death. It's wrong.
All right.
If they did not support them, it doesn't mean we'll be happy, including that master of one. Among them is also happy.
All right, so thank you. So let's move forward. Let's get another view here from this gentleman. How are you? Your name?
Yeah, good afternoon.
And welcome to Spoon.
Victor Julia.
All right, thank you. It's a pleasure talking with you too as well. And thousands of Liberians are listening to you. And this morning, suddenly, the death of Honorable Prince Johnson, a statesman and a former warlord, was. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I was very saddened and very shocked when I heard the news. But I took it to be the usual rumor that always comes around. So I did not believe it. See, I got it from the radio, from Spoon, and other Facebook posts. started
So
to see
we
a lot of
have the
dignitaries
speaker of the
going.
55th legislature, Honorable Richard Nangwe Kun. Okay, oh yeah, I know. Okay, Honorable Kun, welcome to Spoon TV, Spoon Radio. How best can you remember the fallen senator from Nima County? Okay, so just 1 minute, you in conversation. Okay. Number Kun, you care to comment?
Hold on. Checking the sympathize with the report, Nima, especially the caucus. Yeah.
So you've been in the legislature with the fallen lawmaker. What can you say about some of the debate?
All right, Haji was just the income.
Centered around Prince Y. Johnson participation into the civil war. So some Liberians are tribulating because of that. So what's your advice or what's your take on that?
Yeah. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who took part in the Liberian civil war. And Prince Johnson having to be one of them.
The copyright issue. All right, so
done in the past because those lives that were taken away cannot be brought back.
All right, so thank you. So let get to this gentleman. How you do, sir?
I'm okay. My name is Thompson Mwabatopa.
All right, Thompson. So you got the point why reason we are here, right? So what's your view on that? What's your point on that?
Yeah, so my brother told me about the death of Prince Johnson. Talk for me, I'm now on the social media. My brother came and informed me, they shot me. So that is the reason I left from where I was, from Kiri Street, see what other information is. But then when I came, people said it's true. And then for me, the information is very shocking. It's sad for the people of Liberia, also sad for the people of Nima County. I know right now when you go to Nima, the whole city is quiet because he was prominent man in Nima. And so many people call him the godfather of Nima. And how many people that are believe in him and then with his family. I know everywhere is quiet now in Nima County. The nation is weak.
The nation is brave. So the death of Prince Y. Johnson is a great loss to Liberians and Liberia as a whole, right?
So it's a great loss to Liberia.
But other people are saying because of his participation in the Civil War, they find it more joyous than saddening.
Yeah, people may say political reason or maybe disappointment at the hand in Prince Johnson in the days of the Liberian Civil War. Yeah, but the issue remains there will be so many bad thoughts and good thoughts there. Yeah, but the point is, it's statement down. So whatever he did, I think like people got to see reason to forget about it for now. Yeah.
All right, so thank you. We should get to the presiding officer. Okay, presiding. Let's get to the presiding. So he's the presiding officer on ground here. So he's going to give his own view. So sir, just tell us your name and you can proceed.
Yeah, my name is Stanley Estoma.
Please be audible.
My name is Stanley Estoma. I'm from Nima District, Nima County, where it is a very big blow to Nima to hear the starting.
All right, Dorothy. Sorry, we have to join.
Well, we are not deterred. We have the courage that Nima will continue to be great no matter what happens.
So other people are jubilating because of this death, and other people see it more joyful than saddening, like for others, because of Prince Y. Johnson participation into the war. So what's your point on that?
You know, we are not angel or Jesus Christ. Even Paul the apostles in the Bible, he said a lot of tremendous things. By the end of the day, 40 apostles got converted. They started to preach the message of Jesus Christ. So what began praying Yomi Johnson? You can be bad today, you can change. So a lot of people will rejoicing and a lot of people are sad. But this is what made our society beautiful. But we take the courage that sons and daughters of Nima to press power to make our country to be a very great country, no matter what's happening.
And you are from Nima, so who do you think will be the next political, let's say, the godfather of Nima County?
Thank you so much. So to be the next political godfather of Nima County, the chief, the traditions, and the elders of Nima, they will decide who to be the next political godfather of Nima. Because the Queen Johnson never, not one day they respected the elders, the traditions of Nima or another. The citizens of Nima, even though at times we got very basic other things, but we give it all to Nima County to make sure that we stay to Nima or no matter what happens. But we looking at Samuel Koga, we looking at Jeremiah Franklin, we looking at Yanji Twain. But Samuel Koga is very suited in that position to be the next political godfather of Nima County.
So you choose Samuel Koga over the vice?
I choose Samuel Koga to be the next political godfather.
All right, so thank you. So let's get to this fellow, then we'll come out to you. So sir, just please be audible a little bit, please. And
all right, Jurassic. We joining Christopher Fan now in Nima County. Christopher, come through. Chris, you are live.
Okay, so thank you, so kind, Lorena and the rest of the folks there, James Goode, Flomo, and the rest of the folks there. I'm currently at the Ganta Guinea border. Since the news hit this morning, we've been moving from place to place, talking to citizens about this side news. So currently, right on my screen, I have this brother. He from the local change. Good here. So good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Yeah, not bad.
What's your name?
I'm Francis Lamy.
Okay, so Francis, when you woke up this morning, you heard the news. How do you feel?
I feel so sad. I'm sitting now. I didn't know what to do next. But it's very, very frustrating to hear about our father who stood before and talk for us at the time, battle for us at the time to see ourselves living. That he is there today, news is coming out that he is there. For me, it's just a dream to me. To me, I even believe that he is dead. But it's very, very shocking. I didn't know what next to do.
But more people say Senator Johnson have no handmark in the country, so he leave in his country. It will be like a dark cloud living over a particular sighting. So, as a son of this county, what were you saying in regards to that?
Left as who they have so many legacy that you can do. Somebody on legacy about character, legacy about building structure, or his legacy, as I know of it. He liberated us. The man stood in Vanguard in the cold, on the rain, on the sun. He fought for this country. He fought for the citizens of this country. So he been ostentating, being road, doing nothing. But to even fight for us in the rain, on the sun, is the most greater thing he ever did for the Nevadian that would not forget about until we can die. Because at the time, when the door left government, we need to pass through this country and go country there. They need to follow our children and put them in the well, put them, get them migrate, put them in the water. And the man who came up, that he liberated us, make other people who we are today, that we get place to be in Nima here. It's Senator Johnson. So he living up today by him saying that he is dead. It's very, very shocking, and actually, it is not to my knowledge that he is dead. It's just a dream to me.
When you wake up this morning and heard the news about the death news of Senator Johnson, what went to your mind?
Actually, I couldn't believe it. But one thought of other great guys in the world, the late Gaddafi, Ella Selassie then, actually, I knew that great things may happen, great leader them went before. For his departure on this earth, in our stream, because whatsoever happened on earth is bound in heaven. God can control over the body of us in heaven. When your time reaches, your time reaches. So you cannot ask God why. God knows his time that we are here for.
Thank you. Your name again?
I'm Francis F. Lamy, Aganta Main Boulder.
Stay Aganta Main Boulder. We're talking to a citizen here. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Your name, sir?
I'm Joe Zhao.
Joe Zhao. How do you believe this kind of a sad news coming from Nimba?
Up to now, to me, it's still unbelievable because I can't really believe it.
Why?
I can't believe it because they got funded as former senator. In a real good movement, but they don't go here kind of money and see. Now, let's see.
This is a big blow to Nimba.
Big blow. A big blow. A big blow.
So his death will affect Nimba. His death will affect Nimba. Okay, thank you. Your name?
Joe Zhao.
Joe Zhao there. We continue with our citizen here at the Ganta Guinea border. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon, brother.
Your name?
I'm Sarah S. Dipa.
Of your senator today.
Oh, well, it's feel very sad to hear the news of our senior senator of this country. Yeah, it's very shocking because they too don't have control over it. So we are actually sad.
Yeah, but last Sunday, your senator was in Nimba, and he even launched a memorial hall in honor of the late Togo president. Today coming up with the kind of a sad news this afternoon and this morning. Can you still believe your heart that Senator Johnson is no more?
Of course, because through our Facebook, information, we've been following the whole process from even the Jordan area at Dupu Road. We saw the vice president crying, a lot of ministers going there. So it's not strange. I mean, all we fight for on this side is, a legacy to leave. Whether good or bad, people will give.
All right, we have a break in there from Nimba County, so let's bring in Jurassic Joe from Central Monrovia.
That one of the heroes of this country has gone, and we are in a serious disagreement with the Lewis family, the Nimba country, people of hospitality who have proven.
And people are saying that the War Crime Code will be irrelevant because of the sudden death of PY, just because he was the face of this entire War Crime Code, quote unquote. So what?
On a serious note, I see a deeper with that. First of all, for me, I'm one of those who are victims of the war. And there were some of us who are still dancing with the presence of PYJ support to this government. We in a way that the War Crime Code was not going to really be perpetuated. But with the death of PYJ, I can clearly tell you that they have reawakened the strength, the promise of social project of bringing justice to the country. They will surface.
All right. So now, who you think will be the next political godfather of?
All right, he keeps asking that question, and of course, well, welcome to this broadcast, special edition right here on Spoon 107.5 FM. We are also live on Spoon TV. As you have heard, Senator Prince Johnson died this morning, and in Painesville at a local clinic, Hope for Women, and we are yet to establish the cause of his death. But our reporters are around Monrovia and, of course, Nimba County, where the senator was a major voice for the people of Nimba, especially when it comes to politics. And now that he is the godfather, he was the godfather and he has left, people are asking, wondering who is going to be the next godfather of the county. At the same time, they sent out their condolences to the senator's family.
He one of the successful individuals in the country that have rose from three higher positions. I mean, that have rose from three positions to the
So you are
to the super
talking
higher
about
position in the
the
country.
vice president to be the next political godfather of Nima County.
Oh yes.
All right, so thank you, sir. So let's move on to this gentleman. So just tell us your name and just continue the conversation. You already know the purpose of which we are here for.
Okay, I'm Kofanti
Be a bit audible, please, sir.
I hail from Bon County.
Mm-hmm.
The following Prince Johnson from since 1990. From since 1990 when he was young, fighting the war. Prince Johnson was the first person to capture Baran. At that time, we were in Baran and we were leading GST. Baran School of Theology. We were leading our uncle there. Actually, he did a good thing for us because he brought rest to us and he encouraged us not to panic. Even though they captured Baran, but we're going to take care of the area. And from that time, they following him until he entered the political arena. And he began strong. He actually helped Nima because he took Nima as a hero. So I mean, to hear a certain death of that kind of great man who very made Nima to stand, starting to me. But how God made everybody to, God said that everything there is a time to be born and a time to die. So it is time that he leave the world. But who will take the place of Nima? Who will be the next hero for Nima? Who will stand for the people? For me, I would choose because he is the next day for Nima, because Nima depend on him, the Nimalian depend on him. For the fact that he is the vice president and they solely take the face of the United Party coming 2029.
So the way of Prince the late Prince Johnson was mentioned in Nima, you think Jeremiah
Right, we have Jurassic Joe right there in the streets of Monrovia talking to citizens of Nimba and, of course, Liberia, telling us about giving out their own remembrance of the fallen senator who died this morning. If you're just following us, we say welcome. This is Spoon TV Live. We are also live on Spoon 107.5 FM, and as it has been reported all over Liberia and the world over, Senator Prince Ward Johnson fell dead this morning. Yes, I can say he was ill because we didn't get any confirmation from the clinic where he died, but there was confirmation that he died, but not what he died from, Emmanuel. As we have been going through the senator's lives that he lived, his legacies, we looked at 4 of it.
Yeah.
Him as
So,
a young...
because of the death, we don't stop the world coming to Nigeria. As the face of the world campus, because they said that maybe he came along with Chancellor, and Chancellor is not here and he here, so he was just used as a face. But they got others that need to be judged. And I guess when the time comes to build the world campus, those people will be judged.
All right, so thank you. We are state sampling view, so let's get to this gentleman. So please just.
Jurassic, we wanted to know if people are crying. We want to know if you saw people mourning, crying their hearts out, and not just those that we will talk to. Jurassic, on mute, please.
Yeah, you hear me something, right?
Yes, clearly.
Okay. So, are you mourning over the sudden death of Honorable Johnson?
Now, I'm feeling so distracted and feeling discouraged because death have been created by God that created us. Because death was created before life, and each and every one have been created to be able to taste the pain of death, the sorrow of death. So I'm very sad of what happened. That was me sitting lonely.
So tell us, Honorable Johnson played a key role in Liberia politics. and also common warlock. So, what's your deal on that?
You know, Prince Johnson, with me as a he died as a hero into politics. And that's what I believe. And the reason being is for men to serve the House of Legislator for a particular county, which is Lima County, and he became the longest serving senator ever in the Liberian history, that I believe. And when it comes to the revolutionary crisis, I cannot blame him. And I will never blame him. Liberian people killed themselves. Liberian killed themselves. What happened? Before you had gone into your hands. These are things which you try to investigate. So if you look at him, then look at the case study of one of the prophets, Moses. Moses killed the Egyptian when he did not become a prophet. So they believe that he repented. Look at it, they born the 19. He have the Bible before him, and he said, "I will rise and shine again." So I believe that looking back. Look at his death. His death is so unique. There are some people of the age that so many of themselves, but he did not pass through that, and God just took his life easily. So for me, I believe that he died in the hands of God. In fact.
All right. So thank you, sir. So let's try it and let's get this gentleman. So just tell us your name and then let's continue with the conversation from there.
Thank you very much.
So are you mourning over the sudden death of Honorable Prince Y. Johnson?
Also, of course, because these are Liberian, I'm a Liberian. Moreover, it's a statesman, and his death is something that should raise the concern of every Liberian. So I'm being concerned about his death, regardless of maybe who he or the part he played against other people. Man, Prince Johnson might have hurt other people, he might have helped other people. So as a Liberian, we mourn his death.
All right. So thank you. So we need to get across and see what we can get few views. Again, we are in Central, precisely CO, where we are sampling views from all Liberians on the sudden death of the statesman Honorable Prince Y. Johnson Idol. Avon Spoon, and we are trying to sample some views. Okay, so let's get to this gentleman so that he can talk to us shortly. So just tell us the name and we can proceed from there. So we can just the sign. So let's come on the road. Spoon. Yeah, that kind of stuff. All right, yeah. So are you mourning the sudden death of the statesman Honorable Prince Y. Johnson?
Yeah, I want to extend, first and foremost, I'm happy to Jackson Ike Seaton. I want to extend my condolence to the great people of Nimba. They are lost a hero. There's a man who liberated them when they became at the time for suppressing them. There's a man who came in that defended along with other sons and daughters. So he lost today, it's a great loss to Nimba and Liberia last. These are historical heroes. There's a man who had made a 3 president by supporting them. And former President Eli Joseph Salif, giving us support, he won. And then came former President Weah in 2017, pledging his support to him, also won. 2023, when he decided to support the current president, President Baka, he also won. So he's a political hero of Liberia. So it's a great love to Nimba, it's a great love to Liberia.
So other people are saying they will mourn over such a man because of his participation in the war. So what's your view on that?
Well, it's actual. I'm a Christian. I'm an Adventist person. I believe Christianity is about forgiveness, and I believe somehow the late Senator Johnson has repented for the fact that he became a Christian man. Because eventually he have a church and of God. He allowed him to know that in the past. In David was a bad man, but later he said, and the Almighty God forgave him. So if too late,
The late President Johnson repeated to police, I believe, the Almighty God has forgiven him for his death. So those who are mourning him, is that right? Those who mourning also, they're right. Yeah.
All right, so thank you. So
Thank you very much.
let's see what we can speak to. Sarah. We want to talk.
All right, so Hachi, if you are
So we are.
Hachi wants you to join in soon. Go ahead, Jurassic. Talk to more people.
Yeah, Lorena, you're saying something.
No, go ahead, Jurassic. Talk to more people. Go ahead, Jurassic. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. So we are staying here at CO, and we are here to talk to few Liberians here on their view about the sudden death of a statement, Honorable Prince Watt Johnson. Some of them are shying away from the camera, but we're hoping to at least speak to majority of Liberians here. So we are taking over the entire street. We are moving back and
All right, Jurassic, if you are getting us, you can come back through. Hachi Masale.
Yeah,
Hachi.
Lorena, I'm here.
Okay, welcome. What's going on now? Update us, please.
Okay, so right now I want to talk to Mr. Jeru Kangwe. He's a reporter at the legislature. He's well knowledgeable about the workings of Senator Johnson at the legislature, so he will be talking to me briefly. Mr. Jeru Kangwe, welcome to Spoon TV and Spoon Radio.
Thank you very much, Master. Thank you so much.
Firstly, how did you receive the news about the passing of Senator Johnson?
Well, early this morning, as usual, Facebook started to send a news around that Senator Johnson has passed. It was rumored. I began to make some calls, call one or two friends, because for the past 5 to 6 years, I've been very close to Nimba County. As you know, I have friends, Samuel Koga, one of my best friends from Nimba. He carried me everywhere in Nimba, in Senator Johnson's hometown. So I know a bit about the senator, where he comes from, your hometown, you don't go my play. But then coming to Capitol Building, he became senator in 2006. He won the election in 2005, and he took seat in 2006. Since then, Senator Johnson has been a firing person. You know that. He has not been a silent senator on the floor.
Right.
You also know that he's a character. He was a character who divided public opinion. So as usual, his death will be received by many people with different reactions. But what I can say is that Senator Johnson was a human being like any of us. Okay. Besides being a politician, a career soldier, he was a human being. He died in African wars. When somebody passes, we see all the good things that the person see the person off and leave the rest of God. And so, as I said from the onset, this morning we made one or two calls and they were confirmed. And I started to see posts coming from the former colleagues. One person is the former president pro tempore, Amanzu Jara. When he posted, expressing a sympathy for the people of Nimba, then I consider it confirmed. Because considering some of Ghana's stature and status of society, we really just go on to Facebook and post something like there's something really fun. So from there, I accepted that yes, Senator Johnson is no more. I came along here with Senator Minister Kopokura, who happens to be a grandfather to me. So we've been here for the last 4 hours. And we are here moving and sympathizing with the people of Nimba County and his family.
How can you picture the way he will be buried? I know he will be buried in his hometown. I'm told he has already prepared a place for his burial. How do you think he will be received by the people of Nimba?
I heard that he prepared his tomb. I haven't seen it. But apart from that, no one needs to tell you that Senator Johnson will be buried as a hero in Nimba. I'm not from Nimba, let me make that clear. But I've been very close to people from Nimba County. But the life Senator Johnson lived, coming from the barracks as a soldier, and the revolutionary years accumulating to him becoming senator for a county. So we all know that his burial would be sending a hero's wound. You know, when a great soldier died, I can just imagine what would be happening in England.
So you talk about him being a fiery senator on the floor. What some of the debate can you remember of Senator Johnson?
Well, during the 52nd after the census in 2008, there was a debate as to how to set a threshold for representation in the House. Because at the time we had 64 seats.
Yeah.
But after the census, the number of our population increased. Right. So there was this argument as to how to apportion the seats so as not to exceed the constitutionally required number of 100 seats.
Yeah.
So it became a very serious debate in the country. And there was this saying that people from the bigger counties, Nimba, Bon, Magidi, Monserrado, Basel, and Lofa, they were insisting that they would take the number that belongs to them because they had a population.
Right.
So Senator Johnson was on that side of the debate. And that's where I started to really see him argue legislative issues. But beyond that, I refer to Senator Johnson as the Atlantic Ocean. You don't place anything in the ocean and it remain there. Anything you send to the people in the ocean, it will send it back on show.
Yeah. What that means?
That's the kind of person Senator Johnson was. Nobody dead left on him. If you say anything to him, he will respond to you.
Okay, Christopher Fan, our correspondent there in Ganta, Nima County. Chris, if you are getting us, we have you online.
The judge, they presented a bigger platform for him, and we have exclusive control over, like, for anybody, anytime, whether it's political, security, debated, or just member issue. But whatever you say, I listen to one professor, who they are.
Yeah, so let me say good afternoon again. And
okay, I think our studio want to take somebody from
Nima County. Thank you so much, Lorena, for connecting in. We stay in Nima County. This is the main street of Gompa City. And as you may be aware, since the news hit this morning, we've been upside here, making sure that we bring you on your screen what is happening in Nima County. So right here, we will be talking to a couple of motorcyclists about the death news of Senator Prince Johnson this afternoon. So quickly,
Chris, network is not too good. Chris, try to reconnect and get back to us. All right, so to you, Haji.
Yeah, so I was just in conversation with Jeru Kangwe. He's well knowledgeable about the legislature. He was just telling me about some of the debate Senator Johnson, proffer and and argue. Most notably is the one that has to do with the 2008 census, where he made his debate, very loud that big counties should get, the number, and so it was just a kind of, figure where, who divided, the public opinion, the public opinion on issue. He doesn't just, come up, but sometimes he reflect and take on, to issue how the public, feel. He don't, he just didn't care, but that was his feeling, And sometimes when people just go about say things about him, he just goes. Went about responding. Sometimes on his purpose, sometimes wherever the gallery, like what Jeru said, he was like that the Atlantic Ocean. Things doesn't just leave on him as you throw words at him. He will rather send it back, Lorena.
Okay, then we got you. We're still trying to connect with our reporter there in Nima County, where Christopher Fund is trying to sample views of citizens in Ganta. Okay, so we have been joined in studio. Oh, yes, go ahead, Haji. Do you still have?
Yes. So I would just like to conclude with Jeru, because he was learning some thoughts when we cut him off. We wanted to join Christopher Fan.
Go ahead,
So,
Hachi.
yeah, Cheru, as you were saying about the senator, can you just continue?
Yeah, so I mentioned few of the debates that you were part of in the Senate. The issue of the establishment of war and the economic war. Senator Johnson was always in the middle of that debate. He had always said that he took part in the war as a liberator for his people, and he wasn't a criminal, as he said always, but he joined the war because his people were being oppressed, were being harassed, according to him. So he came to the aid of his people as a hero, a man who fought for his country. So he had no fear whether there would have been a war and economic crisis court. He was always waiting to go there.
And he also signed the resolution.
Yeah, he signed a resolution, yes. But there's something briefly about Senator Johnson that I want people to really look at. You see, with all that he did, or all that he was accused of doing, those of us who were born in Christian home and went to Sunday school, got a little training from our grandparents, the Bible talks about acknowledgement of God. God said once you acknowledge him, that he's a Messiah, he's a King of Kings. He has a new way of forgiving people. Okay? After everything that Senator Johnson went through, the better part of the last 10 years he spent on this earth, he announced his repentance and he accepted God. Though there has always been a debate as to whether he was genuine or not. But for me, that is left to God to decide.
Right.
But the fact that during the latter days on earth, he accepted God and decided to preach the gospel.
Right.
And who knows? Maybe God, for that single action of acknowledging God, after everything, who knows? God might just say, "Oh no, my son, I forgave you." Remember, we have a guy called Saul, who later became Paul. He wrote nearly half of the Bible. The guy who's shacking his sword and be chasing God's people. You know, whenever you heard that there was a crusade, a revival somewhere, but Saul would go there and slaughter God's people. But he later became one of the notable figures in the Holy Bible.
Yeah.
You know, so forgiveness, everything is left to God.
Right.
I just want to pick up that as Senator Johnson, his last days on earth, he acknowledged God. And then, lastly, the way he died. So Johnson was in Lima on Monday dedicating the auditorium of his university.
Yeah.
He came to Kabata yesterday. You know how lecture with Nupe and other people. He drove to Moravia. This morning he's gone. Other people, some great people, they say for years, they'll be bedridden in wheelchair, they will do everything on themselves. Then people will carry them before they use the bathroom. And they will take years.
Yeah.
So not decades in that kind of condition, in that degraded condition, before the person finally died. Other great people were found on the dump site with flies feeding in their mouths. You know, before they died. Senator Johnson went to bed last night peacefully with his family. The next day, he's gone. So who knows? Who are we to judge to say based on his past? So he will be this, he will be that. I leave that to God. But Senator Johnson, like I said, he was a guy who never left anything on him that anybody threw at him. He was always waiting to respond. And Senator Johnson made people. He made people. The Bible says, if I could help somebody while I'm alive, then my living wouldn't be easy. Senator Johnson made people in the better part of the last 20 years in Lima. There are people who are today, they reach the level they reach because of Senator Johnson's intervention in their life. So all of those things will be left to God to decide whether you will accept him or not. But we just move him, we are Africans. To denigrate the dead, it's an African. It's an African. It's not our tradition. When somebody dies, the person dies. We move. We leave everything with God. So those are the two comments that I love to make.
Okay, Cheru, thank you so much for your insightful comments, and we hope to talk to you continuously as we are here.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so his name is Cheru Kangwe, a journalist, as I told you, well knowledgeable about the workings of Senator Johnson at the legislature, and as he said, Honorable Koka took him to Nimba County. He visited the hometown of Senator Johnson. So, studio, you can now take over.
All right, Haji, thank you so much. We have Damon Slanger on his way to you. We have Jurassic Joe. He is there in the capitals of Monrovia, this country, Montserrado, and that is Monrovia, sampling views from the capital city. We also have Nelson Cole, who is going to be coming through soon and talk to us from the streets and other corners of Monrovia. At the same time, we have our reporter and our correspondent that is in Nima County, and that is Christopher Fan. We also have Victor Cooper. If Victor can come through, Emmanuel will be glad to
Yeah,
get
sure
Victor.
enough.
We can send him the link, Victor, so that he can sign in and show us. Maybe he
already
could
do.
be in Ganta or Saclay, wherever he is in Nima County today. The Nima County Godfather has fallen. He was pronounced dead from the Hope for Women Clinic there at ELWA. He lived in Painesville, Dubot Road. And we haven't yet established what led to him being rushed there and then being pronounced dead. But we have been joined in studio with by our colleague, and he is Cyrus Hammond. Cyrus, we say welcome.
Thank you so much, Lorena, and thanks to Emmanuel David and for the great analysis here, and also trying to update Liberians about the passing of Senator Prince Johnson.
All right. You being from Nima County yourself, I don't know how you remember the senator, although you are very young, but I know you got some history as we have been relaying here. People say that he had 4 lifestyle. But I say be remembered for 4 lives. Just he alone being a soldier man to a rebel leader, and then becoming that is a part of him being a soldier / rebel leader, and then also led to him joining politics, and now he is also a religious leader. Some people even consider him a man of peace. I don't know how you can remember him. And as we await our signals to come through from the county and from Montserrado itself, we want you to just tell us a brief history of what you know about the fallen senator and what would he be remembered for by you.
I think listening to the views, especially from Ganta City and in Monrovia and the Cross, I think Senator Johnson's death is really, really shocking. Especially the manner of phone in which he died this morning. I just listened to the guy that Haji just interviewed, and he said Johnson, the senator, went to bed with his family life, saying he was very healthy, and all of a sudden, this morning, he was rushed to the hospital, and he was pronounced dead. But basically, not mean. But from what I've observed, especially as a journalist, I've come to realize that Johnson, was seen as quote unquote the Messiah by people of Nima County, because elected him to the Liberian Senate on multiple occasions, and when he founded the NUDP party, his first political party, then on President Eden Johnson Sirleaf, that party overwhelmingly won Nima County, especially at the level of the House of Representatives. Most of the representatives that were elected then they all contested on his party, and then most of them won. And he was a very influential person in Nima County, and he helped a lot of lawmakers to win elections within Nima County. And we all know the history about the war. We all know his stance against the War and Economic Crimes Court. We all know what he did. But when it comes to national politics, especially listening to what the guys have said, Johnson was someone who was also like a king's maker in Liberian politics. When we are going for national elections, most of the presidential candidates will always try as much as possible to have Johnson on their side. And once Johnson is on your side, and there's a high possibility of you, winning that election. We saw it with Madam Eden Johnson Sirleaf in the CDC, 2006, 2012, and we also saw it just during this going election with George Weah and Joseph Boakai. whenever Prince Johnson, I mean, whenever he goes on your side, there's a likelihood that at the end of the day, you will win that election on a national scene. So he was seen as a king's maker, right? And he also, like, listening, he just recently dedicated his auditorium
Yeah.
in Ganta City at the PYJ Polytechnic, trying to help to the developmental process
Yeah.
of Nima County. And also, even though his death news is sad, but we should also say that he was one person who was also against this World and Economic Crimes Code,
Yep.
who think that it was not prudent for the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Code. He was one person who was preaching this message that right after the war there was a decree. I gave him, and then people warlords were pardoned, and so for the country to go back to War and Economic Crimes Code will not be healthy. So he was one person. Whenever people discussing War and Economic Crimes Code, the first name you hear in the public will have to do with Prince Johnson, and he was totally against that. Okay, and so now he's dead and gone. So I think we'll also have to talk with some other transitional justice actors, especially people working with the War and Economic Crimes Code, what it means for War and Economic Crimes Code, especially for war victims. Even though one may say it is not time to say that because he just died, but I mean, being a journalist, these are the concerns in the public. He was healed by the people of Nima County. That's just the fact. But other people felt that they were also victims as due to his operations during the war, and they were also seeking justice. So there are a lot of arguments.
Yeah, diverse views from across.
And
even when you look in the comment section, you get people saying,
there are a lot of there are a lot of feelings.
And moreover, just to inject, Prince Johnson happens to be one of the major second warlords that were facing the World Crimes Court. Haji G.V. Kroman, January 18, 2022, died too at the age of 68. So he's the second.
Okay, yeah, and then he's also listed in the TRC as those who bear the greatest responsibilities, right? And so all of these things, and he has come to die. I also saw on the social media the Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn, visiting the clinic, and some of the lawmakers from the majority bloc visiting the clinic where he died. At this point, we do not know what really caused the death. And it will be difficult at this point for us to really have that information. But we just hope that I don't know whether he will having some medical
I have been concerned too about this, because you can just tell me he just woke up from sleep this morning and went straight to the hospital, and then he was pronounced dead. There had to be some kind of a medical issue earlier that he had experienced. Maybe he just didn't cried out, or fall, maybe went off, or went into some kind of an attack that might lead people to say, oh, so we want to understand what happened. We took him to the hospital, but we know right now, family members cannot be reached because they are mourning. The pain is too fresh. So we understand, but we know it had to be something had to be the cause. And even if we should go to the clinic, which of course we will do, and we are doing right now, but will they release official statement to the press, to the media, concerning what led to the senator's death?
It will be difficult, especially to give that report to the media. What usually, sometimes these medical practitioners would prefer giving that report to family members, right? And then maybe if you have sources among them, you can manage to get hold of that, and being a credible media entity, perhaps we could use our own journalistic skills to see how best we can find a way out to know what really went wrong, right? Okay, what really caused his death. But on Prince Johnson, he was a national icon. Okay, he was a national leader. right? Let's put it that way.
Very influential.
Yeah, very influential. So most politicians in Liberia, especially when you are going to election, people love to align with Prince Johnson. Okay, so his death now, there are a lot of things we also interplay. There are some other people who are happy. Okay, if there are some other people who are very, very sad. Okay, and that's just the reality. Okay, while it's true that he died in such a form and manner that no one was expecting, but there are some other people who are there who think that, who are happy. Okay, and so let's keep getting the views of most people
Yeah,
across
yeah.
Monrovia and Nima County, but majority of the people in Nima County, they are actually sad because most of them, Prince Johnson was like a messiah for them. He was that people would say, quote unquote, godfather.
Yeah, you just refer to him as a national icon, as a
Yeah.
national leader, making leaders. From what I saw, he made leaders. Today, Vice President Jeremiah Kong.
Of course.
We might not have been there backstage to know what happened, what was being discussed, but yes, we saw that Senator Prince Johnson was the one that put forth now Vice
Kung.
President Jeremiah Kong, then Senator Jeremiah Kong, and today he is Vice President. And of course, late Senator Prince Johnson decided to take his support
Yes.
to the now ruling Unity Party, and today we see now that Unity Party indeed is. So, do you think that Nima is being left vulnerable right now since they see Prince Johnson as their godfather, and now that he is dead?
I don't want to say that because there are other great sons and daughters of Nima Kante. Like, for example, Jeremiah Kum from Nima Kante is the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, and that's a very powerful position. And there are a lot of great sons and daughters of Nima Kante. Okay, and so I think there will always be people who will play that role. Okay, but Johnson was also a controversial figure. Sometimes he would say one thing, and then at the end of the day,
Yeah,
someone
sure.
saw so people always be there, Lorena, to step in. Okay, okay. So, but you may not have someone like him of his caliber,
Yeah.
okay, that the way in which he was really seen as a king's maker, you may not have someone of him the way he was very, very controversial on some other national issues and local issues within the country. You may not really have someone like that. Okay, in most cases, when people are contesting within the country, they will have to seek the blessings of Prince Johnson. You may not really see these kind of things, but there are great sons and daughters of Nima Kante, I think, who can lead the country, right? Even though he will be missed by many of the people there, of course, yes, but you also have people who will step to the occasion to lead the country.
Emmanuel and I was just looking at his life from being a soldier at age 19 to every other thing that he did in his life, every other accomplishment, be it from being a soldier. You talked about him being Eddie Camto, the name Thomas Kurunkwa, all right, who was accused of coup. And of course, he was executed. We saw that, and we heard of it. We read about it. And at the same time, now Prince Johnson joining with former President Charles Taylor, and
breaking away.
Like he said, the Nima County people were in pain due to what happened to their people, and they needed a liberator. So who knows? Today we saw that Prince Johnson came out. He joined NPFL, and then they broke apart, and then he established his own party,
NPF, yeah,
which is the Independent National Patriotic Front of Liberia. And at the end of it, they were the ones that captured Dole. So people said that the spotlight was stolen at that time. If you go through my young journalist state profession days, that was what I heard. And when they kept showing videos and relaying, explaining to me how I needed to understand the war. Some of old folks that have been putting books together about Liberia. But then at the end of the day, Prince Johnson, INPFL, was the one in Guinea at that conference. Emmanuel, we were looking at it here, and he was recognized as the late president, interim president Amos Sawyer was elected as president. And then Prince Johnson left Liberia when the Second War hit. So he only took part in the First War. He migrated to Nigeria, as is being documented, Cyrus. And after he went to Nigeria, he found Jesus Christ. And then he was able to get in contact with the family members of Samuel Kanyan Doe. He knew it, that he had to make peace. He had to make amends, because this was a big thing. You know, people, we that left Liberia during the war, we know how people relate the death of former President Samuel Kanyan Doe to us. I'm saying people relate because I just, until today, can't bring myself to fully watch that video. So having foreigners even explaining my own video to me. So it was a good move that he made peace. My country's video to me, I'm sorry. It was a good move that he made peace with the Doe family. So they forgave him. And then that happened through the late prophet T.B. Joshua of the Senegal Church. That happened in Nigeria. And then Prince Johnson came back to Liberia and became a prophet. Do you know more about his church, Love Church, Love Chapel? Have you ever visited? We always have his messages aired here on the screen every 6 p.m. on Sunday.
I personally have not been into the church to worship, but I've seen the church on many occasions. I've listened to some of his messages from the church. But most people would say, and sometimes if you listen to his style of preaching, sometimes he will always love to include politics, okay, in his preaching. For example, if there are national issues and Prince Johnson want to react to it, or you want to speak to it, you will have to go to a church and use his pulpit and to preach. So sometimes most of the teachings, some people would say, I mean, it was just extremely difficult to divorce politics from his preaching.
Okay, so let's join Diamond Slanger. Diamond, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Lorena. Thank you, Cyrus, if you can hear me. Currently at the residence of the late Senator Prince Yomi Johnson of Nimba County. Hours ago, the news broke, and arriving here, outside the gate is very crowded. I do see the Vice President Jeremiah Pankun is sitting in the white seat. He's flanked now by former representative, former chairman of the Governance Commission, Anthony Garrison Yelu. He's in the yellow shirt that you see in there. We have been asked not to go further. We also do see the Labor Minister, Councillor Cooper Kra, is just flanking the Vice President on his right. And then you have the Majority Leader, Representative Samuel Kogai, is there in the black business suit and white undershirt as well. There are also others here, notable and ordinary Nimbayans, Liberians, who have come to not only confirm the information, but also sympathize with the family as well. Canopies have been put up. As you can see, folks are under the canopy. There is a lot of crying and wailing in the house. All locals all around have come to not only sympathize, but pay their respects as well. It's quite crowded here, as you can imagine. Senator Prince Wild Johnson, hailed from Nimba County, respected by Nimbayans and ordinary Liberians, irrespective of which county you're from, served as the longest serving senator in post-war Liberia history as well. So this news has not only shocked the entire Nimba County, but the entire Republic of Liberia as well. Lorena and Cyrus.
All right. Yes, Cyrus.
Yes, Diamond. So let's look at the vicinity around his home. How is the area? I'm told there are huge traffic towards his home. Did he experience any traffic?
Well, for vehicular traffic, no. There is a lot of trickling in and trickling out that is currently happening now. So you can see the CEO of LAP Sportswear is also here. He's from Nimba County, a young illustrious Liberian. You can see both hands on his hips. He's still in disbelief. So Prince Johnson didn't just cut across to older Nimbayans, but also generation as well. They all grew up knowing him to be the hero of the people of Nimba County, irrespective of whatever others think about him. There will always be diverse views. A hero to one is a villain to another. That is just how life is. But talking back about traffic, there isn't so much vehicular traffic, but there is a lot of human traffic. I can tell you that for sure, Cyrus. I'm just taking you outside. There's a lot of wailing, there's a lot of shouting. But much of what I'm seeing is that people are huddled in groups such as this. As you see, people are huddled in groups and having these conversations. What you can see, like this gentleman here is standing, is just utter disbelief and shock. That is the bodily expression that we see from many of the folks that have come here in the compound of the late Senator Prince Wild Johnson. But just to take you outside, as you can see the number of people here, this is outside our own locals, others who have just come to confirm the parking of vehicles goes all the way down the avenue. Vehicles are parked left and right. So as you can see, more official vehicles are coming in, but there is a lot of people here as well, Cyrus and Lorena. This is outside the compound of the late Senator. So see all locals, left, right, and lining the street. Motorcyclists, business owners, and the rest, they've all come to confirm what is happening and to sympathize as well.
They have been there since this morning, Diamond, and we see that more of them are pouring in. Will you be able to talk to some of them? If you can talk to some of the government officials that are still present, or even some family members, as we learned from Haji earlier, that they are mourning and they are in so much pain that they couldn't talk to us right now. Maybe in some way you heard of maybe a little news about the cause of his death.
Lorena, I cannot confirm because I'm not a family source and we do not want to dwell on rumor mongering as well. But from chit chatters, what we've gotten from some confidential sources as well, yet unconfirmed, is that the senator did go in a coma and was rushed to the hospital. That is what we were informed of by confidential sources. Again, it's unconfirmed. The family has not come up with any official statements yet. We do not want to run with this as well. But what we were informed of is that the senator, on Friday, he was in Ganta. Haji was there for the renaming of the hall in honor of the former Togolese president, Yasingbe. And then on yesterday, we were told again that the senator was not so much in so much of a good spirit. Again, it's unconfirmed. And today, according to what we were told, again, unconfirmed, I want to keep stressing that, is that he did go in a coma. He was taken to the hospital and they go in a coma. And unfortunately, he didn't come through again. Unfortunately, he lost his life. That is what we've been informed of. Again, it's unconfirmed. The family has not come out to tell us, yes, what causes death. But what we can say is, from all indications, from all of what we've been told, he did have a brief stint of illness, Lorena.
So, Diamond, who are other national leaders there, apart from the sons and daughters of Nima? Did you see other national leaders from all of counties there sympathizing with the family?
It will be difficult to try to pin a county on a leader, but I can tell you national leaders that I've seen. And once you're from Nimba, you're still a national leader here in Liberia. But the labor minister, he hails from Nimba County, Councillor Cooper Crack. I've seen the leader of the rebellious or majority black, Samuel Koga. He hails from Nimba County as well. I did see Senator Brownie, not Senator, but former Defense Minister Brownie Samukai. He was there. He was sitting in the seat that was later occupied by Antonin Garrison Yelu. It was the former Defense Minister Brownie Samukai. He sat there for approximately 10 to 15 minutes with the Vice President, involved in quiet conversations as well, and he left. So that is the most notable presence I've seen, not from Nimba County so far, but there are others who I haven't pinpointed yet to tell you. But I did see former Minister of Defense Brownie Samukai. He has also left.
Okay, Damo, Emmanuel has a question.
Yes, Damo, initially we had schools of people, not government official, actually, schools of sympathizers. They were there. I want to know as to whether they are still there up to now.
Emmanuel, you can just look at your screen. The number is not it's not dwindling. Yes, as others are leaving, others are coming in. Remember, this is a revolving news. As it's been, disseminated, more people are coming in. So as the day goes on, as the day progresses on, I've been informed that others are even coming from Nimba County to his residence here in Painesville City. So as the day progresses on, as the news continues to filter through, remember, others are waiting to confirm whether this is true or not. So there will be the influx of more, but yes, Emmanuel, there is still a large influx of people here at the residence of the late Senator Prince Y. Johnson.
Were you able to see his wife, and if so, what sort of mood she was in?
I didn't answer that question. Can you repeat the question?
He's asking if you were able to see his wife, which of course Haji was there earlier and he saw people fainting, but maybe you, since you got there not too long, were you able to see his wife and the kind of mood that she would be in? That's the question.
I haven't seen the wife of the late senator. I'm here. If you can hear me, are you hearing me?
Yes. Go ahead, Donald.
Okay, I seem to be faced with some network issue. But
Come on,
I haven't
go
seen
ahead.
the
You are
wife
clear.
of the late senator yet. Probably she's in the main house. Probably she's in the main house. I haven't been granted access into the main house, in the yard and around the Palava house, if you want to call it that way. But I haven't seen the wife of the late senator since I arrived. There are a lot of people within the house, and probably she's.
Okay, Diamond. We expect you to talk to more on local sympathizers, those that are in the community, and those that are just around there. Are you going to talk to some of them, so we hear how they will remember the late senator for?
Okay, let me approach folks and see if I can speak to as many as I can, and you can rejoin me once I've gotten willing candidates to speak. Hello, Chief. How you doing, boss man? How are you? You want to speak with us on TV, Spoon FM? We want to ask you a few questions. Maybe I'm not say. But how you remember Senator Johnson? How you remember him? Senator from your county. So you remember? How do you remember him as a good person? Okay, you heard the news and you rush here. How long have you been here for? Since 7 this morning. You've been here and it's already afternoon. So why are you still around almost 2 o'clock? Why are you still around since 7 o'clock? You're feeling fine in your body. All right, thank you. So I was just speaking with a young, energetic man who I didn't want to bring on camera, but let me speak to this guy, Chief. How are you doing? Your name? Huh? Prince Deca Oscar. Prince, how long have you been here?
We're not hearing him, Tamon.
Okay, just hold on a minute, Lorena. Let me do some settings quickly, and then you can hear him clearly. Just a minute. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Sorry. Say your name.
I said Prince Deca.
Prince Oscar.
Yes.
Yeah. You said you were in school.
Yeah, 1 year about Senator Johnson there. So I've been so discouraged because my next thinking was we can't get leaderless Senator Johnson again. Yes, and while I was thinking honestly.
So how do you remember Senator Johnson?
Senator Johnson, you are a good man. In our country, when you speak, nobody can speak. On behalf of you can speak on behalf of everywhere.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So that is another young man who has said he will remember Senator Johnson as who spoke for the people of Nimba County. I do see another government official has arrived. We do see another government official has arrived. We see the vehicle of another government official that's got the plate 025, and I can tell that official is not in the vehicle. Probably that official is in the car. Probably is the Labor Minister vehicle. But people are still trooping in, Lorena. People are still flocking in as the meeting passes by.
All right, Adama, we are going to keep you posted, and we know that whenever you get any information to come through, let us know so that we put you through. We want to get more
LT
information.
has just
All
arrived.
right.
This is
Yes.
the Director General of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency.
Can you talk to him, Diamond? Or we have
Arrived
to
as well.
Okay, so we know you, by God's grace, you have the chance to talk to the government officials that are still arriving. But there are more government officials there, Diamond, especially from the majority and minority blocks. We saw representatives and senators there as well in the early broadcast today. And so even Senator Sir Joseph, he couldn't say anything to us. He was like heartbroken, and he said no comment for now. So we know it is still a shock, and people are in pain, and there are diverse views from across Nimba and right here in Montserrat at the same time, due to our broadcast that we are getting via our comment section, and of course those that have been calling in. So Diamond, we await more reports from you at PYJ's residence, and we are here looking at it on screen. If you need to talk to us as we are seated in studio, we will talk to you. All right, Diamond. Mr. Slanga.
Yeah, I think he has left.
I know you have to repeat that what you said.
I'm saying that we have you on a standby, Diamond. If you need to put anything through to us, we will connect with you.
Sure, Lorena. I'm here.
Oh, all right. So we have Diamond Slanga. We saw him, and we are seeing it on our screen. For those who are watching via Spoon TV Live, Diamond Slanga is at PYG's residence alongside Haji Masale, whom is also our reporter who has been there this morning. Cyrus, you came in late and you were asking, who all they were saying, the kind of mood the people are in. Yes, we've been there since this morning. Haji was there, and Haji was talking about how you heard it, Emmanuel, you were here. Haji talked about people fainting, women fainting, people rolling on the ground. They are in pain. As the Bible talks about putting on arches. That's the kind of environment Haji described to us due to the death of Senator Prince Johnson. It is still a shock. That we even called our correspondent earlier, and he said he needs to confirm it. I think he was just in shock.
To believe in Nimba County that the senator has passed.
And we have our other correspondent, who is Christopher Fan, who is moving around in Ganta. We are hoping, Chris, as you are listening, watching, please come through and give us views of the citizens in Nimba County. We want to know from them what they have to say about their fallen soldier. And at the same time, Emmanuel, Dennis has joined us. Dennis, we welcome you. We heard... we saw diverse views, okay? Yeah. There are people celebrating. At the same time, there are people who are mourning. But we are looking at the life of Prince Ward Johnson, the late senator. The reason why we are looking at his life, because he died today. All right? We know that the death announcements or whatever comments, statements, or that will be communicated to the media institutions will be communicated. And of course, Spoon is going to get that too. We're going to give more information. But we also broke the news to let you know that Senator Prince Johnson died this morning. We have been trying to establish cause of his death. All right. And then we can't say, because we are not the doctors, we didn't talk to the doctors, and we can't get to family members. But at the same time, we just heard Diamond say it is unconfirmed that the senator would have fallen off and, gone into coma before rushed to the hospital. We know, and we were discussing just today about his auditorium that he named. So I would like to welcome you, Denise, and also Cyrus Hammond. We are still on with this conversation concerning the fallen Senator Prince Ward Johnson, who died this morning. We try to establish a reason what led to his death, but we can't. But all we know it has been confirmed that he died. Emmanuel, I was looking at his life as a soldier, as a politician, as a rebel leader. And you need to see the comments coming through. We cannot just show these comments right now. Most of them.
Also as an evangelist.
Yes, an evangelist, a preacher if he was a preacher. Yeah, so he moved around evangelizing in communities. You remember him? No, I'm not talking about people going to the Love Chapel Church.
He referred to himself as an evangelist.
Okay, so he was evangelist Prince Ward Johnson, always comparing his situation with that of King Saul. I'm sorry, of Saul. You remember, if you went deep into reading the Bible, there are some scriptures that we read. Saul, even as a young boy, was just, excited to slaughter Christians. He, from what I was told, he was one of those gathering stones to stone Stephen. You heard Stephen, one of the messengers who died. But then he's saying to you, yes, I was Saul, I used to persecute, but now I am Paul. And I'm sharing and spreading the good news of Jesus Christ. And that is the Love Chapel. We will gather information from Love Chapel family. We can talk to Zaras if we can. But at the same time, we are just bringing you full coverage from PYJ's residents from Nema County and also from Spawn Studio. So colleagues, you are all welcome.
Many thanks, Amal. Many thanks, Lorena and Emmanuel, as well as Sarah. It's good to be back here on today. Thanks. I've been following the broadcast, and like you said, as Liberians, are saddened about the passing of the late Senator Johnson. We all empathize or sympathize with the family for the passing of the former senator. Yes.
Okay, and Dennis, we're just looking at his early life as a young soldier at age 19, have been through the fire of arms when it comes to soldier work, and at the same time a rebel leader while he joined former President Charles Taylor, and then he broke away and formed his own party from within the NPFL, now NPFL. And then later on, that led to him gaining relevance to becoming and going to where he was before he died. Because even if you look at it, it was all about military work with Prince, with the senator. It was just military work, and today he became a senator, the highest voice in Nema County when it comes to politics of the county, and where it comes to politics in Liberia.
Former representative Gompu Kagon
him from
is
diverse
just arriving.
People looking at him as a preacher, looking at him as some people saying, "Oh, okay, let's John Damo quickly, please."
So we have the former representative Gompu Kagon. He's also from Nema County. I was informed that he was here earlier, but I want to speak to him quickly. Honorable Kagon, this is Spoon TV. We want to speak to you for a minute, sir. Sir, we hear something that Liberians never anticipated will happen today. How do you remember the late Senator Prince Y. Johnson?
Well, thank you. For the back of Johnson, his brother, because you all know that my father, Friday he called me, he said, "So come, let's go Nimba, forget about the quality, let's go Nimba, he said get time, in your favor." And I followed him, we went Nimba for the program. And he told me that after the program, he himself will sit and talk, discuss some things, so you forgive me. And I said, "My father, I have nothing against you." And I knew that it was God time for such a thing to happen. So I have nothing against you that. And I said we reconciled through our mother that year. And this morning to call me and say, "The owner is dead, I regret it." And like I was saying, just moving around.
How do you remember him? I know you just said he was a father figure to you.
I remember him because he was a father to me. He was very close. We toured all the way in Nimba. Because of that, I was a little bit away from him. He called me and said, "You know, son, I don't want you to go away from me. Kind of be by me. Even if your dad make a mistake, your dad is your dad. I consider it just this good Monday. We talk today. Don't want to devil.
I know I'm about to let you go. When you saw him on Friday, when you interacted, how was he? How healthy was he? How did he look?
You were not very built up like before. Yeah, you dropped weight, and you were not too hefty like before. You know he's a patient, so anytime they can drop weight and pick up with him. So I believe that old age and all things and surrounded
All right, Diamond, are you there?
I my son, forget everything. Let them come together. I consider him. He was my father and we were very close together.
Okay, sir. Thank you for speaking with us.
Really
we appreciate your time. And Liberians are listening in and they sympathize with the people of Nimba and everybody else that's affected by this.
My prayer now is Nimba should be united. Let us forget about the political issues. Unite Nimba so all of us can come together.
I know the wound is not even yet cold or healed, but people are already talking about a replacement. Do you think it's early for that kind of conversation?
People think different way. I don't think the day-to-day is a day to talk about politics, to talk about who to replace Senator Johnson. I think the day of who people are just saying, oh, we are not happy. So if somebody talking about how to replace Senator Johnson, now they have an opinion. For me, I'm not in a position to talk about replacement.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Honorable Kagon. Honorable Konku Kagon, their former representative, Nimba County, stating his experience with the late Senator Prince. Said, 2023 they had a falling off due to politics. Senator Johnson did not support the then representative Kagon. He lost the seat, but he said they had a reconciliatory meeting on Friday and they had a reconciliatory call on Monday. Only to get this information of the senator's passing. As the conversations already being held about who to replace and whether Nimba has got a new godfather in the now Vice President Jeremiah Pankun. He said it's too early to start talking about replacements, but he cannot speak to the opinions as expressed by others in and around Liberia. So there you have it, Marina. I'll speak to more dignitaries as they come in, as they trickle in, and more ordinary Liberians as well. So I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, Diamond, thank you so much. You are doing well. So we'll connect again with Diamond Slanger. We are also calling on Christopher Fan in Nimba County to connect with us. But I'm in studio with colleagues Emmanuel David, here with Cyrus Hammond and Dennis Nipson. You guys just joined, Dennis, you just joined the broadcast. We have been discussing almost everything we can that we know about the senator. At the same time, we open the lines and make sure people call in. And then you hear people views from the streets and also from the senator's house.
I've been following, like you said, and listening to mixed reactions from Liberians as it relates to the death of Senator Johnson. So we all know Senator Johnson. You all have said it all. From his time as soldier, we know Senator Johnson as a warlord turned senator, and obviously there will be mixed reactions from the public, especially during the heydays of Liberia, where a lot of Liberians were killed during the war. And we saw that with the issue that was involving with tribalism during the war was a serious issue. So Liberians or those from Nimba County, see let's say saw Senator Johnson, the late Senator Johnson, as their hero and as their, savior during the war. So they were really praising and talk good about him because they saw that he was defending them, while others who were on the other side that was affected by what he did in terms of the lives of their people, especially those from the Grenji, the Crown ethnic group, will see that as a problem because we know the Liberia war was heavily hit by tribalism and all of that. So with the mixed reaction, and especially when it comes to Liberia and the war, people thought that the issue of the establishment of the War Crimes Code would have been good, so that all of those warlords would have have their day in court to ensure that justice can prevail. But with the passing of Senator Johnson, people see such as impunity, the issue about impunity. So people felt that yes, perhaps there was a way for justice to be done. So like I said, there will be a lot of issue because whether we like it or not, Liberia war was hit with tribalism. And the issue about healing and reconciliation, it is important in Liberia. So with the passing of Senator Johnson, people will not, speak when they talk about his death. They'll always be remembered about the war, the tribalism that was played during the heydays of Liberia, which of course we cannot miss our voice on it when we are discussing such an issue, because all of those issues were part of the Liberia Civil War. But it is saddening that he has died as a statement because he was a senator of Nima County, and also he played a role too as it relates to the ascendancy of past and current president, of Liberia, because coming from the vote-rich Nima County that supported even President Joseph Boakai IX, now into power, that was his rule as well. And all other sons of Nima County would like to have the blessing of Senator Johnson then to ensure that they become victorious in their political quest. So for that too, that can be accorded to him, as well as the people in Nima County saw him as a godfather of the country. So there are a lot of things, from the Christian end. We saw that after the war, he took up time, he gave his life to Christ. He became a pastor. He became a pastor, and then others, would say that yes, Senator Johnson gave his life to God. So he, you cannot judge him because the theme of the things of Christianity is kind of different. The way God see people, how they come, they repent, and all of that. Humanitarian wise, he had a school. He had, his own side of also taking care of people and also ensuring that he educate people. So if you talk about the late Senator Johnson, in as much as he had all of the other side, there are other good sides that people will also remember him for, although also he was sanctioned as well on the U.S. Treasury, sanction list. There are a lot of things to talk about when you talk about Senator Johnson.
All right, Cyrus.
Yes, so Dennis just put it right. A lot of things. Okay, he has the good side, the bad side. Johnson became a household name in Liberia, especially during the war, when he captured and murdered former President Samuel K. Doe. Okay, but if you listen to people from Nima County, they believe he did well for them during the war. And also there are other people of the view that Johnson committed crimes, especially war crimes and crimes against humanity during the Liberian Civil War. And
when you say of the view,
there are people who think that he committed crimes.
They think?
Of course. There are diverse views.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It depends on which side you listen to or you talk with. Okay. And so Senator Johnson was a key actor, during the Civil War. Mm-hmm. And then, in fact, he's recommended by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission as one of those who bear the greatest responsibility and he should be prosecuted. Okay, so when you talk about the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Code, one of the names you will hear has to do with Prince Johnson.
Yep.
Okay, and why the name of Purford is that because of war and economic crimes. That's why I say if you talk with some people feel that he committed war and economic crimes. Mm-hmm. Okay, but he has not been tried and convicted, so you will say he alleged it. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, and nationally, he played a key role when it comes to electing president of this country. You saw that with President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. He was a king's maker. He helped to bring President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to power because, like Dennis said, coming from vote-rich Nima County, and vast majority of the people there believe in him, believe in his philosophy, and then believe in, his instruction. And so most often, presidential candidates will always seek the support of Prince White Johnson because Nima County is a very populated county. So if you have Johnson supporting you, obviously there is a high possibility of you winning the election. Okay, and then since the war, he appeared before the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and he one person who, like you said, he has been asking for pardon. Although some people said when he appeared in public, the way in which he sound, I mean, you want to think that he has no remorse for his action during the war. Okay, so there were a lot of views concerning Johnson's lifestyle. Okay, and by and large, he also helped to establish schools to also build his own image, okay, and help people to go to school. And he also established his church, trying to preach the gospel. He also established university named PYJ Polytechnic. There were also some issues with that university. There are people who said, look, you should not call this PYJ Polytechnic, give it a different name, because for someone to be going to a educational institution would name PYJ. And when you think about the name PYJ, what comes to mind is the issue of warlord. And so you should try to change the name. There was that debate on for some period of time because the university was seeking subsidies from the government, and people were saying, look, you have to change the name. Okay. But up to now, we still have the university, PYJ Polytechnic.
Even in high school, right, Emmanuel? We've been going through all of these, telling the audience about his life, be him as a soldier, a rebel leader, a politician, also raising leaders from Nimba, today presenting a vice president. But there's a short piece on Front Page Africa that was just posted today that I would want to read. It says Senator Johnson, Front Page Africa has informed, collapsed in his bathroom. First, let's go to the headline. It says Senator Prince Ward Johnson, the leader of the Earthwa Independent National Patriotic Front of Liberia, is dead. So it has been confirmed as we have been communicating. Senator Johnson, Front Page Africa has been informed, collapsed in his bathroom during shower and went into coma. They say they have been informed. He was later confirmed dead upon arrival at the Hope for Women Hospital in Painesville. Family sources confirmed. So he died upon arrival, not there. All right. Not while doctors were, administering to him. Family sources confirmed to Front Page Africa that a self-proclaimed godfather of vote-rich Nimba County, instrumental in deciding the last few elections in Liberia, died suddenly at his home early Thursday morning. Senator Johnson was last seen on November 25 when he honored the legacy of the late Nyasangbe Iyadima, former president of Togo, by naming his university's auditorium after him. The event was attended by a diverse group of officials, including traditional leaders, legislators, and students, celebrating Iyadima's contributions to goodwill and generosity. In his remarks, Senator Johnson reflected on the late Togo president's significant role in fostering peace in Liberia and throughout West Africa, labeling him a man of peace. Senator Johnson's history with civil war, we have been, going over it over and over and over. We know it's going to be posted all over, you understand, on different social media platforms. People going back to, talk about the senator, how he started, where he came from. But we have our reporters posted, and we have been having, as you people have been here, we have been having Jurassic Joe coming through from the streets of Monrovia. And we have Haji Masade coming through from the senator's residence. And now we have Dama Slanga, who is there. We saw different politicians arriving at the senator's house. We saw Vice President Jeremiah Kong. Emmanuel, you want to name some of what we saw? We saw different representatives. I saw the controversy around the speakership. We saw them hawking. We saw Speaker Jonathan Fonati Kofa, and of course, Dr. Speaker Richard Kong hawking. It's a time of bereavement. It's a sad day in Liberia. So now it's like, look, we pause the pain. Whatever we are going through right now, we are in pain. It could be any of us today.
Yeah, sure.
And here is Senator Johnson. He is no longer here. So Emmanuel, I know you
Marina, two things bring people together. Two events in life brings people together. Is
more commentary with
nothing much to say. As I said initially, we've been here since 7 o'clock. Not 8.
Yeah, but Emmanuel, yes, Emmanuel, you just heard. We were here
Yeah.
trying to establish Denise and Sarah.
Part
We
of
were here
Twitter, so you have to.
They said people were like blaming me. Oh, why you keep asking about how they meant that? How they meant that? We want to know. Wouldn't we want to know? Wouldn't we want to report this to our audience? The people want to know. People are asking questions. What's in K. Prince Johnson? What K. Prince Johnson? We just saw.
And Lorena, you are right. The issue about Prince Johnson passing. I don't know. It's not that he's immortal being born. People kind of surprised. Prince Johnson.
Somebody said Prince Johnson can die too. Can you imagine those comments?
So some of those things, yes.
Yeah. So because there was no news of him being ill.
Yes.
Okay. So this was somebody who just dedicated his university. Yes, just over the weekend.
And
okay.
interestingly,
2 days ago.
And interestingly, we were on the radio. We were on the radio, and the reporter
our correspondent
was reporting at the time he was reporting. There was a comment in the comment section, so I saw it. I said I cannot answer to this. I keep deleting the thing. The guy keeps sending.
Is Prince Johnson dead? Is it true PYJ is dead?
So I mean, it's very shocking to everyone.
And Sarah and Dennis, do you know that our correspondent, when he was talking to us, Emmanuel, and I thought Emmanuel, that was what you were about to talk about when he said that the people were complaining, why should PYJ name his university auditorium in honor of the late Togolese president, that okay, they would take their children from the school and then Togolese should come and go to attend the institution. And I was saying, as much as we want Liberians to attend the institution, we are also saying that it's a good thing to have foreigners coming to school in Liberia. The same thing, we have reports coming from Maryland County about the hospital there that didn't have a dental segment or division, and now that they have it, then we were told that people are also pouring in from other countries and coming into JJ Dawson to get treatment.
So we have the Mines and Energy Minister here.
Get education. I think we should join Diamond again. Diamond, you are live.
Yes, so we have the Mines and Energy Minister, Wilmot Pay. He's here. Remember, he also is a national leader. And let's see if we can talk to Minister Pay for the minute. Chairman Emeritus of the Unity Party, and now Minister of Mines and Energy, in his way into the compound. So we want to see if we can talk to him briefly before he goes to greet the Vice President and other dignitaries. Afternoon to you, Minister Pay. How do you heard the late Senator Prince Johnson? So the minister says no comment. He is seen physically, hurt, in a distorted mood. He's not even the energetic Wilmot Pay, he's just in a very solemn mood and making his way to where the Vice President is. He's being greeted, he's exchanging hugs and all of that. And his eyes, as he's getting closer, keeps getting more red than what it is. So Honorable Pay is going there to where the Vice President and the rest of the dignitaries are. And he's not even, I haven't heard him speak loudly at all. He's just saying, yeah, and then nodding his head, exchanging handshakes. But you can tell that he wants to get to where the Vice President and the rest of the dignitaries are to go and give his condolences to the family as Minister Pay, a man of many words at this moment in time. He's a man of few words. You guys were speaking to the legacy of the late Senator Prince Johnson, and also his very influential role in Liberian politics, as well as at the education sector as well. There are others, there will always be mixed views when such an occurrence happens, irrespective of your role in society, whether or not he was a former warlord or whether or not he was a politician. People always have diverse views when it comes to individuals. But one thing we should also note is that notable stakeholders or key players in our country's civil crisis have not had their day in court, especially the heads of those factions. Remember, we had the likes of Roosevelt Johnson, the likes of Haji Kroma, you know, now Prince Johnson. We have former President Charles Gange Taylor, who's in jail. But if you go down the list, you see that almost all of those who were leaders of warring factions did not get their day in court, and they died of natural causes. So again,
Yeah.
there are others who are saying that the late senator didn't have his day in court, and then it was a win for the culture of impunity. There are those, if you look on the various social media feeds, you see a lot of comments, you know, comments of condolences and sympathies, and there are comments of those who felt it shouldn't have been this way. You know, the others are rejoicing sadly.
Yes,
That is the
people
reality
rejoice.
of life.
Yeah.
Again, a hero to one is a villain to another. That's
Yeah.
the startling reality that we're being faced with here on the grounds. But yeah, at his residence, all you can hear are praises from those who are sympathize and confirm the information, and those who are crying and mourning. Also, we spoke to the unconfirmed information that the late senator, you know, went in a coma. He had he fell and went in a coma. Well, we getting that narrative being reported by other sources. Again, it's unconfirmed. You know, we have our confidential sources that have spoken with us. They told us what we are telling, but again, it's unconfirmed. The family has not come up with any sort of statement whatsoever. We did see a statement from former President George Mann. And there are two events in life that brings people together. It's either at a birth of a child or at the death of an individual. Whenever there is a birth, there is, you know, reconciliation. People come together. Family members that were not speaking to each other, you know, they come there and they all congratulate. When there is a death, again, you find that people put aside their differences and they come together, whether it's temporary or not.
All
Find
right.
out that there is reconciliation between whenever there is a death or whenever there is a new life brought forth on this earth. So those are just some of the information I wanted to give out. I'm still here. We just saw Wilmot Pay, the Minister of Mines and Energy, arriving here as well. Others are leaving, as you can see, and others are trickling in, as you can see that vehicle just arriving as well. So it's an influx, you know, and the departure happening at the same time.
Dama, I don't want you to leave because I want to tell you about a story on Front Page Africa right now, where they said that Front Page Africa has been informed that the former senator collapsed in his bathroom during shower and went into coma. It is on the page Front Page Africa today. I'm talking about today's edition. And so if Front Page is reporting it, it means they have gotten their own confirmation because they are saying that they were informed. They said he was later confirmed dead upon arrival at the Hope for Women Hospital in Princeville. Family sources confirmed, meaning that he even died before getting there after falling in his bathtub while taking his shower this morning. So like we have been saying, that we didn't hear of any incident of him being sick. Sarah, you can come on. So Dama, that was the Front Page Africa own story concerning the senator's death.
Lorena, we do have our confidential sources. And as a reputable media institution, we confirm, we reconfirm. You saw what was happening in our chat room when the information came in. Everybody started calling their different sources that they have. And at the end of the day, we all confirmed that indeed, tragically, a big tree has fallen. A big tree has fallen. But as to how he died, again, their family, for the respect of the family, they want to keep that close. He's a public figure, it's true. But at this time as well, there's also the respect, privacy of the family. So as to how he died, the death certificate is definitely going to speak to that, and that is the private information of the family. Whether he was DOA, as been reported by some media institutions, we were informed by families, by sources, by confidential sources, that, you know, the senator did go in a coma. You listen to former Representative Gompu Kagon when he spoke to us minutes ago. He said on Friday when he did see the senator, he looked frail. He didn't look energetic and strong like the PYJ that Gompu Kagon was used to seeing. Whether that speaks to, you know, a decline in his health, that's one thing. But Gompu Kagon said the senator didn't look energetic as he usually looks, and he also, you know, told us openly on TV that Senator Johnson, you know, had pressure, high blood pressure or hypertension, if you want to call it that way. That the senator, you know, was prone to his his heart rate going up and fluctuating and all of that, as to if that was an episode that struck him. We cannot confirm that, but all we can confirm though is that he was pronounced dead at the Hope for Women Hospital here in Painesville. As to what are the injury cases and all of that, at this time, family sources are not speaking to us because they want to preserve the privacy of the family at this time.
All right, Damo, thank you so much. Keep us posted. We are here and we're going to link with you when you are ready to talk to us.
Thank you, Lorena.
All right, so our colleagues, I would like to bring in a few videos as we remember the fallen senator, so that we await from our people and all of us here in studio in case we need to do more analysis.
It is stormy. It is clouded. It is characterized by so many disappointments. Hopelessness for some, hope for some. People have to manage their expectation. The sky may be dark. The situation may be so windy. You may not see your way through, you may be disappointed. While some people are grieved, others are happy. While some people are having appointments. Whatever the situation is, as chairman of the governing council of the MDRO, without the MDRO and the people of NIMBA, CNC would have been expecting David to say something negative, because the two guys agree. So when Joanne got there, David said to him, Joanne, you're my uncle, but we can't pull. I call you today, you know when I call you, I'm sure you were thinking in your mind, what was in the call? But I call you to tell you, my dislike for you, your hatred for me, both should be far lesser than our love for Israel. Because Israel is surrounded by enemies. And because of that, I am hereby promoting you to the rank of a general to take charge of the entire Israeli army.
Thank
to defend
you.
Israel and to defend me as a king.
Amen.
Joab could not get away. So he asked the king, he said, you're my second pole. We are family people. So are you telling me, you're making me general and chief of the Israeli army, knowing fully well that one day I can overthrow you? They will say, I'm aware, but you will not do that because the enemies want to get rid of me, get rid of the country, and all of us. So I'm putting you in charge. So that statement from David and the promotion that was given to Joanne, it threw away the hatred, the malice, and whatever problem they had, it went away.
Right, so like we told you, we are here in Spawn Studio. We are live on Spawn TV, on Spawn FM 107.5, Fabric 101.1, Super TV Live, Fabric TV Live. I tell you, it's a whole network, and I'm in studio with my colleagues Dennis Nipson and Cyrus Hammond. So we bring you more videos. Let's remember the epic moments of the fallen Senator Prince Wyatt Johnson.
If also gave, or we try to keep the peace. Not one soldier, not one senator from Grand Judah had ever talked bad about any of us in this country. During this gone election, you made a statement regarding Honorable Coon, who is now the vice president of the Republic of Liberia and president of the Liberian Senate. You admonished the Grand Judeans not to vote for a killer. You rather vote for me. Today, everything has changed. He is our vice president. He is the president of the Liberian Senate, before whom we sit as he presides. Today you have indicted the people of Nimba again of poisoning some of our grandchildren, of not allowing grandchildren to migrate. Everyone is allowed to migrate whatever country you want to go to. If you keep yourself conservative, you don't travel and settle there, well, it's up to you. But I want you to please, I beg you, to maintain the peace in your spoken words and all that you do. What you said today was a disgrace to the people of Nimba. I've been here long. That did not come to the attention, to our attention, when it was open up. Was any grandchildren person in the country that you know of, the didn't tell us? Okay, I'm just hearing it. I come to your office, you come to my office, you didn't tell me, but you prefer to bring us to the public to say we are killer and we kill somebody. It is not good. Please maintain the peace. God bless you. Expecting David to say something negative, because the two guys agree. So when Joanne got there, David said to him, Joanne, you're my uncle, but we can't pull. I call you today, you know when I call you, I'm sure you were thinking in your mind, what was in the call? But I call you to tell you, my dislike for you, your hatred for me, both should be far lesser than our love for Israel. Because Israel is surrounded by enemies. And because of that, I am hereby promoting you to the rank of a general to take charge of the entire Israeli army.
Thank
to defend Israel and to defend me as a king. It is stormy. It is clouded. It is characterized by so many disappointments. Hopelessness for some, hope for some. People have to manage their expectation. The sky may be dark. The situation may be so windy. You may not see your way through, you may be disappointed. While some people are grieved, others are happy. While some people are having appointments. Whatever the situation is, as chairman of the governing council of the MDRO, without the MDRO and the people of Nimba, seems to have.
All right, so like we said, we are here bringing you play-by-play everything that is happening since the pronouncement of the death of Senator Prince Y. Johnson. I'm in studio with my colleagues, Dennis Nipson and Cyrus Hammond. Cyrus, we have Damas Langa. We are here awaiting your signal. If you are ready, we are going to join you, but we are on Spoon 107.5. We are also live on Spoon TV. You people have been following the diverse views of, coming from Liberians here in Liberia and the diaspora. You have seen, you keep hearing what they are saying. We are going to open the lines again to make sure we hear what more want to say as we await more reports from Diamond. But I don't know, what do you make? Do you think at this time, this painful moment, is it a time for people to be making such comments?
So there will always be diverse views, especially when it comes to someone of such, especially looking at the lifestyle of Prince Johnson. And now you see most of the national leaders at his home. Not many of them want to talk because they are mourning, and then they are in sympathy with the family. So you will not really find much of them talking that, especially to reporters. But like you were saying, and we have been reporting this morning, we do not really know the actual cause of death.
Yeah.
But like Damon said, given the information that he fell off and he was rushed to the hospital.
Confirmed.
Yes, and then he died. That's what we can see for now. But at this point, it will be very difficult for the family to release the official cause of death and to the public. It will be very, very difficult at this point. But listening to our correspondent from Nima County and the streets of Ganta, there were a lot of people there who were sad by the news, about his death news. Okay, because Johnson was in the county just a few days ago, and then he toured Nima County, and then just today to hear him that he's no more. I mean, it brings that feeling to anyone, right? So that's the thing. No one was really expecting this death. If you ask many people, even though there are some people who are celebrating it, okay, there are some people who are also mourning it, and so there will always be different opinion, especially depending on how you see the lifestyle of Prince Johnson. And so, like you said, it's also better we listen to what the public have to say, what Liberians have to say concerning his death. We can listen to them. If you open the lamp, you will hear a lot of people. Some people will say, "Oh, Prince Johnson was a hero." Some people will say, "Oh, Prince Johnson destroyed this country, especially with the action during the war." Okay, he was the main actor. I mean, one of the main actors during the war. So there are a lot of people who will say some will say Prince Johnson actually is actually responsible for the war. Okay, so different opinions across the table concerning his death. So what we can say now, we'll keep updating the public. I just saw on the executive mansion page, President Joseph Boakai has also expressed his sympathy to the family. Okay, because Johnson also helped Boakai to win the presidency. Okay, in a general election. So it's one thing, and he also said that Johnson was a national actor and he contributed to the growth and development of Liberia and also the society as a whole. Right, I just saw it on the Executive Mansion website. So there are a lot of opinions.
All right. Yes, Denise, you can come in, please.
Yes. So, like Sarah said, in terms of the communication coming out from the executive mansion, knowing very well the role serving as a senator, is actually an honorable area. So, and a role play in Liberia. So definitely, all of the major, institution or the executive mansion, the government will send out that, to sympathize with the family. And like you said, people are celebrating and some are, sad. Obviously, sometimes when someone passed or when someone died, there's this saying that people don't celebrate, even the person who was the worst enemy of yours will sympathize with the family and all of that. So that tradition is there. But at this point, when we see the amount of mixed reaction out there in the public coming out, we see some people celebrating. It shows that Liberians are eagerly, waiting to actually see the fruition of this war.
So the Nimba women available right now, they are currently at the residence are having a meeting. So the Nimba women that have gathered here are currently in a meeting. So they are going to set up committees. So we rejoin this meeting as more folks are chipping in to sympathize with the Johnson family and the people of Nimba County as well. Former President George Manawia has already his statement of condolence with
Diamond? Okay, we know Diamond. You just heard Cyrus. Maybe you might want to tell us some of what you understood them saying while we await Diamond to come back through.
I think basically we're just trying to organize themselves and to have meeting to sympathize with the family. Okay, these are women from Nimba County, so they were just speaking the.
How many are alive?
Yeah, thank you, Lorena. So we do see others are still trooping in here. As we said, it's a two-way street that is flowing right now. Those that are coming in and those that are departing, having sympathized. I do see the Internal Affairs Minister, Minister Francis Yumale, has arrived there due to the technicalities of our Zoom. But he's wearing a white shirt with the National County Sports Meet logo on it. And he's flanked by Representative Flomo from Nimba County, Representative Samuel Pungai, as well as the Director General of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. We do have the Labor Minister, Councillor Cooper Kra, who's been here for a considerable time now. The Mines and Energy Minister, Wilmot Pay, arrived minutes ago, approximately half an hour ago. We do see the Vice President, Honorable Jeremiah Panhoon, who at this particular point in time is being greeted by dignitaries and ordinary Liberians that are arriving as well. So in other African countries, he might be termed as the chief mooner at this particular time, but according to what tradition demands, or what others who are the Western culture will say, the wife of the fallen senator is the chief mooner. But in other families, the male head is termed as the chief mooner. With the death of Senator Johnson confirmed, Vice President Jeremiah Panhoon, even though by hierarchy he's the second most powerful man in the country, right now he has assumed temporarily the status of head of Nimba County. Whether or not that is an official title, but in passing, in terms of tradition and what it is in politics, he is now the presumed number one in Nimba County. But politics aside and what's happening, we did see the Nimba women going to have a meeting. They just on my far left having a meeting there, and I've been informed that they will be forming committees right at this point in time. There's no wasting time in making sure that things are done in a very coordinated and orderly fashion. but there is all you can hear, not loud conversations, but murmurings and in-person conversations happening here as well. A big tree has fallen. In other countries such as Nigeria, they'll say the Iroko tree has fallen. In Liberia, we say a big man has left for the great beyond. Whether or not you remember him as from his war days or his post-war Liberia political days or his fiery sermons that he preached at his church, Senator Johnson is and has been up to his time of his death the kingmaker here in Liberia in our country's post-war history.
Yes, Damon, that is how he is being considered and being called. Most of his kinsmen, yes, they see that we have been reporting and that once he puts himself behind a political party coming from that huge population from Nima County, of course, that party definitely has to put forth a leader. We saw it with former President George Manning. We are in 2017, and we also see it now. We saw it with present President Joseph Newman Boakai. So yes, people might have different views of the fallen senator, but we still see that there are people that still remember him. It's like his life was impactful, as I would say. You know, wherever he went, he left his mark in different ways that he lived his life. So, Damo, we know that somebody will interpret to you. Okay, Dennis wants to come in. Some of what they are saying there. At the same time, we have Cyrus in studio to tell us some of what he is getting to, so that we communicate that to our people. Denise, you can come in.
Yes, Diamond, looking at the arrival of the vice president at the home of the late senator, what has been the reaction from the family or some of their party officials? Because we know prior to the death of the senator, there has been some, talks here and there, especially as it relates to the political spectrum of their party, NDR, and all relating to government, listening to Senator Johnson, all of that. There were a lot of talks around. How do you see the reception?
Well, I arrived after the vice president was already seated here. And what I can tell you for sure, politics is not the core of the conversation now as we speak. It's more of condolences, it's more of unity, it's more of mourning together the loss of a great son of Nimba County. There will be diverse views, whether the political conversations held. Those conversations are not going to happen here now at this moment in time, Denise. But what I can tell you is that the vice president is the one receiving all of the guests so far. So what I can tell you for sure is there are two separate areas of mourning in this compound. There are those who are going inside of the house to where I've been informed the late senator's wife is and his immediate family, they currently are inside of the house there, the main house there that I've just been to. And those who are coming to greet the vice president, he's under the Palava hut, where the senator, when he was alive, would usually hold his press conferences. This is where Senator Johnson would have had all of his press conferences in his compound. That is where the vice president is sitting. But I'm going to join the Nimba women. They are singing traditional songs, and we can listen in to their meeting that they've conveyed here. So it's an emergency meeting to set up committees and the rest.
Damo, are you there?
Yes, Lorena, I'm here. I'm trying to get the best audio for us and the best angle as well. happening now is that the weather has taken a turn for the worse. It is drizzling as we speak. So these women are speaking Dio, and they are singing traditional songs as well. So it's drizzling, not so much, but just a mild level of drizzles of rain happening now. The weather has taken a turn from being sunny to being more cloudy, Lorena and Cyrus plus Denise.
All right, Diamond, we are here. We hear them singing. Our hope is to grab some of what they are saying with you. But we have Sarah. Sarah will help us interpret so that we can communicate to our people at the radio. And even if we can get an interpreter that will help us get some of what they are saying.
We'll leave it at that for now. We'll rejoin them. They are still singing traditional songs, but what I gathered was they were saying there shouldn't be the wearing of black. That people coming here, that those coming here should not, especially the women in that meeting, should not wear black. That it is not a time to wear black. Whether Cyrus can reconfirm that, but that was what I gathered from what was said, Lorena. A whole lot of other things were said, a whole lot of songs were sung, but I gathered that they were mandating the women not to wear black when they come here. That this is more of a celebration of life than mourning the passing of a great man. That they should celebrate his life and his legacy as well. So Cyrus can add to that whether what I heard was right or I'm probably paraphrasing far from the reality.
Okay. All right, Cyrus. Diamond Cyrus is here. Cyrus, go ahead and you interpret. We are glad to have Legacy's voice.
Yeah, I think Diamond is trying his best. So if they have seen that they shouldn't wear black, it means that Johnson has lived tonight. So I think it should be celebrated because if we go to such an occasion and people are saying don't wear black, it means that let's celebrate this person. This person actually lived a world meaningful life. So there's no need for us to keep crying. Okay. He has lived a useful life. In order us, we should celebrate him. He has gone to well.
All right, so Diamond, if you, we can take. We are trying to take callers now, Diamond. But if you are still talking to people,
was my little interpretation was it confirmed by Cyrus, or I was far off the mark when it comes to wearing or not wearing the black that I listened to and celebrating the life of the late Senator Prince Y. Johnson?
I think that more on an overall, you are trying your very, very best.
Trying your best.
Yeah, but the audio is not coming in very clearly for me to get the actual meaning of the song that they are singing. But on an overall, you are trying your best. You talked about having meeting, yes. I heard that, and he also talked about how they should organize themselves. Yes, I got that one. But you are trying your best on the overall.
All right, so Senator Yan Twine has just arrived. If I can get a clearer shot, he's now sitting by the vice president. He's taking over the seat that was occupied by former representative and former chair of the Governance Commission, Anthony Garrison Yelu. So now Senator Yan Twine has taken his place side, on the left flank of Vice President Jeremiah Pampin, and Garrison Yelu has turned over that seat to Yan Twyan, and just after Yan Twyan from the Vice President. So Senator Yan Twyan is now sitting by the Vice President, Honorable Jeremiah Pampin.
Okay, Damon. So until you talk to them, we'll try to take some callers here in studio.
Sure, Lorena, I'm just here on the standby, and I'm ready whenever it is you want to get a feed from me or an audio from me.
All right, sir. All right, that's our reporter, Damon Sanga. He is there at the residence of the fallen Senator Prince Ward Johnson. Liberians, you want to call in and, make your own contributions. That's the news that hit hard here in our country today.
So it's now raining, Lorena. It's now raining, and at the same time, the sun is up. It's now raining, and at the same time, the sun is up. Yeah, in Pinsville, as you can see, it's raining, but yet it's still sunny. If you want to take that as an omen, as a sign of mourning, as a sign of tears, well, that is for your interpretation. But it's now raining and it's sunny at the same time.
All right, Cyrus, what would it be like if it comes to traditions from Nima County? And what would you say that maybe people are crying, but at the same time, the fallen senator is asking you not to cry? The sun is still shining. I don't know.
Honestly, I cannot really interpret.
You cannot interpret.
I cannot interpret that.
But we are Africans.
Yeah, so we are Africans. There are a lot of interpretation, and I don't really have the specific interpretation for that, so I don't want to speculate on this national platform. But like you listen to Diamond, a lot of people are still trooping in. Okay, it tells you that how people, especially from Nima, are connected with this Senator Prince Johnson. Okay, so I mean, at this point, you see a lot of people going in because he actually served on the national scene as well, Lorena, serving at the level of the Liberian Senate for a couple of years, right? And then also helping a lot of prominent people to come to power, helping presidential candidates to win elections. And so a lot of people will try to identify with the family at this point in time. And so you will see a lot of people trooping in. I just saw a condolence message from former President George Weah as well. So a lot of people will always try to go in to identify with the family, despite the current situation, despite issues of maybe a war days. People always go in to identify with the family.
All right. So we're going to take callers now, 0777-77-1075 or 0555-101075. You might remember the list senator for something you want to communicate. You have the chance and opportunity now to call and be a part of this program. So let's take our first caller. Hello.
Good afternoon, Sir Lorena.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome. What is your name? Where are you calling us from?
Well, my name is Jonathan Joe. I'm calling from District 6.
All right, Jonathan. Go ahead.
So, it's just starting, and I want to send my own sincere condolences to the people of Liberia, to the people of Nima County, to the legislative branch of government, and most especially to the family of the late 40 Senator Prince Johnson. We lost an individual, though there will be a lot of controversy over him. But nobody can judge anybody, only God. But I think he has an impact in our economy, most especially when it comes to the political scene, where he has elected. I mean, he was one of the persons who has elected 2 to 3 of our president in Liberia. That is Madam, the former president, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, President George Weah, and the current president, Mr. Yuman Kwaka. So I think that we have lost a hero. So let us all take sides. And I just want to thank the school for bringing out the coverage.
Thank you very much. Thank you. 0777711075 or 0551010175. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to this show.
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is going to leave away and I've done this conversation from office of San Jose Township. Let me use time to register my CPS sympathy to the members of the MDR, citizens of Nima County and Liberia at large. The death of Senator Prince Johnson is something that everyone in Liberia will forever remember, be it on the religious side, traditional side, political side. He has made his, he has set a record in his place. And we pray that whatever he is, he's so rest in peace. Thank you ever so much.
You are welcome. More callers. Let's take more calls. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, your name, sir. Quickly to the point.
I'm Princeton B. Meow calling you from Johnsonville, Bass Street.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I really feel sad and very, very not feeling good since this morning when I heard the news. Something I used to really do, I remember him of some time ago when some Nibadians were wanting to set a scrap. When they went for the county meeting, when they went for the COCO meeting and then he tried to focus on issues, the people did not agree with him. What he did, he got in a car, he went straight in the county and break out the news that, oh, Nibadians, your children, you're sending in Monrovia there, they are about to sell your scrap. And all those things he used to do, we really remember him on some things. So I'm very, very feeling bad on some things. Who will be exposing those guys? Who will be convicting them?
Oh, too bad. We lost our caller. We are still trying to connect and establish contact with our reporter in Nimba. We want to hear more views from Nimba County concerning the death of Senator Prince Ward Johnson. Until then, we take more callers and await your signal, Diamond Slanger. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Gloria. And I just want to say thanks to you guys and extend my condolence to the Reed family and the people of Nimba. Yeah, well, I'm not so surprised from the day I heard that Honorable Johnson built his whatever, his grave or whatever. I having the feeling that something will happen soon. But I listened to a couple of his messages. And I believe strongly that this man was actually praying that God, if you know I will have to face the World Economic Crimes Court, just take me. That feeling is so strong within my spirit, man, because of late, he was like the War Crimes Court was like a big issue. You know, as people raised eyebrow and talked about it, he was always disturbed. So I believe he asked God, if this thing will work out and I will be apprehended, better take me now. I believe so. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, Mama. You just heard her. She said that from the time she heard that the fallen senator had prepared his grave, she knew that it was a sign that he was about to leave the face of the earth. And she is so convicted. She has that conviction that the former senator didn't just want to face the War and Economic Crimes Court. He probably asked God, please, I don't want to face this. So you do what you have to do to get him out of here. That is views from a caller that came through on our network. Hello.
Hello.
Your name, sir? Where are you calling me from?
Yeah, I'm Overseer calling you from Johnsonville.
Make your point.
Yeah, the song that the Nima County women were thinking over there is because Prince Johnson, they knew that, you know, Prince Johnson was cool. You know?
He was what?
Prince Johnson was a cool. Was a fighter. Cool for Nima County. So, they were cool there. There's a way you got to sing the song to give view to the people, you know, we the Niban, we are warriors. So most of the song are over there that to remember. Even during the time, people sporting, some area when the court die or somebody die for you, there's a certain song that you can sing
Yes. So most of the songs that are Nima County, hello? Are you getting me?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said the song that the Nima County winning. I was thinking over there.
Mm-hmm. You said that he was a warrior.
It's a traditional song. It's a traditional song when you are at war or when any crew dies for you, anybody that defends you, anybody that brings defending you, and person die. That is a traditional song to remember the person was the whole world, or for the guy to know that the person was cool.
All right, so we'll take more calls, Dennis. Let's take a few more callers because we'll soon be calling it a day. Hello. You are live on the show. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm okay. Your name, sir. Your view quickly, please.
Okay. My name is Brother Jeremiah Siawe.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, let me say a big thank you to the Spoon family for calling this evening.
All right.
Let me say never mind to the great people of Nimba. You know, the Bible says it is appointed unto men once to die. So death is the final destination. It's just a matter of the time. But on the overall, I think the senator, he lived his life because I guess he died around 70, 75 years.
72.
Okay, 72. Okay, meaning he even went beyond because it's 70 according to the Bible, but he had 2 years grace period. So the reality is he lived his life, and he will be remembered because on the previous scene he did a lot of things, and he got some hand mark that Liberian will look at and remember him for good. So again, I would say never mind to the great people that Nimba, let them take heart. He's gone, but his legacy remains. Thank you for affording me the opportunity.
You are welcome. Sarah, we know we'll soon be running it up, so we just take a few more calls and 077771075 and 05551101075. Diamond Slanger, we still have you in queue. When you are ready, please report through because very soon we are going to be shutting down the broadcast. But I have my colleagues in studio, Sarah's Hammer, and of course, somebody.
Lorena, can you hear me?
Clearly.
All right, so we've gotten information that the mortal remains of the late Senator Prince Wyatt Johnson is scheduled to be removed from the Hope for Women Hospital and taken to a funeral parlor of the family's choosing. So even though we'll be going off with this broadcast, but we have a team at the hospital to follow through and follow up with the removal for our people that will be watching Spoon TV live. So that's just the update I wanted to give as we're wrapping up this episode of today's broadcast.
Yes, but Dama, you are there, at PYJ's residence. What do you think? If you think that we should remain on the broadcast until the removal of his body, we will do that. But if we need to go off the radio and just remain on Spoon TV live to make sure we show to our people the removal of the late senator's body, then we can do that.
I'll communicate my decision backstage.
Communicate, please do that. All right, Dama Slinger. Yeah, so colleagues, we are not we are here to serve the Liberian people, and that's what we are doing.
Yeah, we just need a little bit smile. sorry to laugh at this time,
Yeah. We have to encourage. You heard the Nima women. They said nobody should even wear black to come over there, and they were singing songs of victory and not mourning. Hello. Yeah. We have a caller. Wow. 077771075
and Lorena, though you are taking call, but to even live up to the age 70 is a blessing, for human, especially where you have young people dying as early as 30, 39, 40 and things like that. But yes.
But when the other callers say, but he even passed the mark, or didn't restrict us to 70. It was David that said 70. Yeah. That was what he agreed to.
That's why I say it's a blessing.
It's a blessing, because of this time and age, yet there are still people that will live up to 120 years old.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, your name, sir. Where are you calling us from?
Oh, yes, I'm Aaron Pierre. Aaron Pierre from Guatemala, Nima County. I'm broken down in tears today, hearing about the death of the father of the county. I want to thank you for covering all the exercises of today. God bless you. By join all other great Nima citizens to extend my sympathy to the wife of Senator Johnson, all of his family, and all great sons and daughters of Nima County and Liberia alive.
Thank you, sir.
The wife is from the Southeast Grand Coup. So I want to extend sympathy to the people of Grand Coup too. Senator Johnson lived a very great life that will forever miss him. When they were talking about some time ago, maybe you heard that people wanted to divide Nima County. He stood his ground and said Nima will not be divided under his watch. And true to the word, Nima remain united today. So I pray that the Almighty God receive his soul and all the other souls of the faithful departed in Jesus' mighty name.
Amen. Thank you, sir. We'll take two more callers if you people agree.
Yeah.
Second motion. Hello? Hello? All right, 077771075 or 055510175.
Good
afternoon. What is your name?
Sir, this is David King. I do join you from my resident this afternoon. I think the senator lives in usefulness. He lives for 70 years plus. So there's no need to even move such a man who has some terrible past in our country. Even though the death that come to people, sometimes when people do you bad, you have to sympathize with the person. He had a very bad political life, a very bad military life.
Thank you, sir. We'll take more callers. Hello?
Hello.
What is your name? Where are you calling us from?
It's Diwo.
Mantiwo,
I want to
welcome
say,
again. Yeah.
to say sorry to our former senator. As I always say, all asking walkable. And when I turn over my dear sister, my dear son, we all will go. With all our properties, cars, and all that we inherited, we're not carrying none. Only ourselves, the clothes we will wear. That the only thing we carry on the son, even if bury you, as we eat you down there. So, to our senators, our senators, what you're saying now, so when you're doing, you must think of tomorrow. That tomorrow will come. And tomorrow is death. So when you say doing all these things, you leave bad repetition behind. At the end of the day, it will haunt you. It will haunt your children. It will haunt your family member. My children, Senator Johnson, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Thank you in Jesus' name.
Thank you, Mantiwo. We're going to take one more caller and then I get to my colleagues to run up. Hello? Hello, you're live on our special edition. Your name and quickly get to your point.
Thank you. The rate one number this morning, I'm calling from district number 5, Red Light. Let me extend my sympathies to the people of Nima and especially his wife, the MDR family, the Senate, and the brother alive. You know, in life, two things you should be remembered for. You either remember for the negative or you remember for the positive. And of course, Prince Johnson, the late, has blended those two. There are some positives and there are some negatives. Some people remember him for the positive and people remember for the negative. But just as Mantiwo said, what will it take somebody to have millions of dollars when you have people living around you that are suffering, that you cannot make impact into their life? Then when you die, you leave behind all those thousands or millions that you claim as well. And go. What people say they're suffering. Make impact. Your impact you can do is your riches that you have, people who are around you, people that are suffering, they didn't see your impact. Share the little that you have so that tomorrow when you are gone, I mean, they will remember you, they will praise you even though you are gone. But don't be remembered for the negative. The positive is better than negative. All I can say, Frank Johnson, is God has called you. You have lived your life. The negatives are there. The positives are there. Well, go.
Thank you.
And go
Thank
ahead
you
and
so
meet your
much.
purpose.
Thank you so much. We have to go off because we want to sign in to make sure that what is happening at the Hope for Women Hospital can get through to our people as they watch Spoon TV Live. So I come to you, Denise, your closing comment.
Yeah, so we like to say again, our deepest sympathy to the people of Nimba and specifically the family of the late senator. Also to Liberians as well. And as a country, we are mourning the passing of a senator. And it's about time that, the government and all those who are concerned with the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court, take it actually very, very seriously to ensure that the court can be established, because from the mixed reactions that are coming from the passing of the late senator, it shows that some Liberians are actually, awaiting the establishment of this War and Economic Crimes Court, so that the culture of impunity, can be solved, because there are people who are hurt, whether from one side or the other side. They are hurt, and during the war, they had their own bitter past with their losing their family members, and they want to ensure that all perpetrators, can be brought to book. So it is important, and when we see people have their way of expressing their grief. So there are people who have been hurt in the past, and they think that by celebrating is the way of relieving the whatsoever pain they felt during the Civil War. Others too who are grieving is their way of expressing that. So we hope that we can all unite as Liberians and pull Liberia first. So we'd like to say thank you so much for those of you who have been following. We will always be here to bring you update as it relates to the growth and development of our country.
Cyrus?
Yes, so our DPS condolences to the family and the people of Nimba in Liberia. I think Johnson served the nation, especially at the level of the Liberian Senate, and despite his role in the Civil War, I think he was a national leader, and Liberia is bereaved. And so I want to say thanks to those who've been following us, and also thanks to the team for also providing updates since this morning. Okay. I know in subsequent time we keep updating the public on other activities. Like Diamond said, the body will soon be removed and taken to the funeral home. And from there we'll keep updating the public. So many things.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So many thanks to you and Nimela Saros. When I talk about him being soft, that was his way of communicating, but it was misunderstood yesterday. But today is another day. We have a fallen senator. Senator Prince Johnson, not just one of the senators, but a senator who had a real huge voice and influence when it comes to Liberian politics, especially coming from Nimba County, as he was considered the godfather of Nimba politics, the one that the Nimbayans relied on when it comes to them making decisions where whom is to lead them, be it in the presidential race or even as senators and representatives. He has always had his own influence. We are talking about a very huge influence. But we went through the life sketch of Senator Prince Johnson, from a soldier boy at 19 to being in the AFL, that is the Armed Forces of Liberia, to becoming a rebel leader, and then becoming an evangelist, and then a politician, even a presidential candidate. Well, we will continue to update you here from Spoon Studio, from our network. Our guys are out there to make sure we show you how the body is being taken from the Hope for Women Hospital. We can't confirm which funeral home the senator body will be taken to, but we'll continue to update you from our end. My name is Lorena Honorary. So many thanks to Dennis Nipson, Emmanuel David, Cyrus Hammer. Thanks to you, Diamond Slanger, Haji Masali, Jurasi Joe, for all of the hard work you guys have been breaking through from the streets and right here in the studio. This is Spoon Network, Spoon 107.5 FM, Fabric 101.1 FM, Super TV, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and even via YouTube. We are live to update you on unfolding happenings within Liberia. So keep watching and keep following and keep listening. Bye-bye from my end.